rest, discovered that the aboleth you had been discussing things with had happened to slip down a watery path. Upon tracing the path with a familiar, I discovered it led a mile away off, and you decided that, you know what, we should just turn this over to the local constabulary and get paid for what we already did. Which worked out for you. You got paid quite a bit, enough to potentially buy your own ship, or at least hire a very competent, ship's crew if you can find one. Uh, Deciding that you needed some more information, some of you guys kind of split off. Some of you went looking to see what ships were like in this area, potential purchase. A couple other of you, went out looking for bars, but separately. So, Lunissa ended up at a bar by herself, just kind of storming in because her her thieves can't. She noticed some indications of piracy at one of the particular bars, and started asking a lot. When she left, she found herself waylaid in the alley and was captured. And was being dragged off to a ship. When actually arrived, a couple spoke with the bartender, discovered that a lizard woman named Fizrag had her, or the description that may have been seen leaving right after her. You don't in character, you don't actually know that for certain. But you took off after and sent up your familiar again to locate where they might be, and saw her being loaded onto a ship at the harbor. And that takes us into right now. So, Iron Roses, what would you like to do?
Question. Has there been enough downtime from they were originally at the lighthouse, from talking to the authorities and then hanging out with the priest guy? Has there been enough for a short rest
Yes.
with minimal activity?
Yeah, it's definitely been a short rest. It's been 2-3 hours at this point.
Cool. Awesome. Well, Phaedra is then casting Expeditious Retreat on herself and heading in the direction which I think it was Shiori found that Lunissa was taken. Or no, it was Kale.
Lunissa was the
Right?
one's information.
Yeah, Kale found the information.
Squeak found it.
Yeah. So whenever Kale gets back, or Squeak gets back to Kale, and that is communicated to the group, she is casting Expeditious Retreat on herself and hauling ass in that direction.
All right. Which means you're going much faster than the rest of the group. What are the rest of you doing?
I am keeping up with the group, is what you mean. Because I've got short little dwarf legs.
True. But
that is why it's being cast.
I believe. What's the speed that gives you?
So it'll give me 50.
All right. Everyone else is 30 or 40.
So I'll be a little bit in front. Yep.
All right. So basically, you see Phaedra, who you usually have to keep up with, suddenly racing on ahead of all of you, even at your top speeds. The only person that would have been outracing her at this point would have been Lunissa, except Lunissa's the one you're chasing.
I can't have a fun party with pirates without this interrupting. Oh.
Speaking of fun party with pirates, let us switch over to you, Lunissa. You've finally been set down. Your hands have been tied behind your back, and someone has taken off your belt, having noticed that your weapons just keep blinking back to it whenever they try to remove them. And
okay.
You've been sat in a chair, and you can feel somebody basically tying you to that chair, and suddenly your hood has been removed, and you can see that you're in some kind of cabin. With a slight rocking motion, you can kind of tell that you're probably on the water currently, but
Sorry,
probably not. What?
You keep breaking up.
Oh, God damn it! Not again. You're currently tied to a chair, Your hands are tied behind your back, and those have been then tied to a chair, and your hood has been removed, revealing that you're in a cabin. It appears to be on a ship that is slightly rocking back and forth, but it doesn't feel like it's actually moving anywhere.
Hey, is there anyone in here?
Yes.
Because I presume
there
there's
is,
someone who pulled the hood off the face.
that lizard folk that you saw earlier in the bar.
Only the lizard folk?
Well, kind of standing a bit behind her, and at the door seems to be a a bugbear, but with arms. They're harder to. Well, yeah, that's right. You have dark vision and all that, so yeah, they're still visible to see. But it's like it's one of those types that they're in the shadow of the door frame and hulking behind everything else, and the lizard folk is standing in front of you, trying to take it in the light. So
are they ladies?
Uh,
Both of them.
roll investigation.
I don't have advantage because I can't swap out my eye things. But I don't need it. It's a natural 29.
Well, you know for certain there's a lady because you can pick up, even though they're not they're not as bosomed as a lot of like the human and elven races might be. Bugbears tend to be less sexually, but she does have some indication that she has breasts. The lizard person, you actually don't have any idea except roll me a nature check. Lets you know about any differences there might be between a male and a female lizard person.
Couldn't I make a guess based on what she is wearing?
Absolutely no idea. This lizard is too alien as far as your ability to tell male from female apart. Besides, somewhere for people to tell apart gender of a lizard folk. Even if they were completely naked, it's sometimes hard to tell because they've got different kinds of anatomy.
Okay. I think I'm on the right ship. Hi, nice to meet you.
Yes. I am Captain Fizrag. You were on the Chasing Dawn. I heard you were looking for work or something along those lines. Something that caught my
yes.
attention.
I mean, you pay well, right?
Oh, yes. Of course, we can't just
Okay.
let anyone come on board. You understand?
Yeah, you did make sure I wasn't followed, right?
It would be very difficult to follow us, but we do have people out there. They didn't see anybody watching.
Good, because someone is hunting me. That's why I need a ship.
Well, we
okay,
can easily take care of that problem.
Oh, okay. I'm not so sure about that, but I'll believe you for now. Quick question: is all this necessary? The ropes and stuff.
Until we understand you better, yes. But don't worry. You're with us now.
How dark is it in here?
It's dark. Basically the only light is basically focused on the lizard person standing there. You're pretty much in a bit of shadow, and the bugbear is in a bit of shadow.
Okay, weird question. If I shadow step, am I still in a chair?
Considering you're tied to the chair, you would be, yeah. Because if that wasn't the case, you would every time you shadow stepped, you'd be naked. Because clearly, it takes anything.
I guess
it takes anything with you that you're it's firmly attached to you, like clothing, and being tied up like this would be the equivalent of the chair is now part of your clothing set, as far as teleportation, anything else like that is caused.
How sturdy does this chair look?
Let's see. What do we roll for that? Actually, no. With that earlier investigation check you used, you're able to pick up some pretty good details on the room and of the people in it. There's a bed. There's a desk nearby. So it feels like you're on a desk chair. The chair is fairly sturdy, considering it's the sort of furniture that needs to stand up to occasionally being tossed and turned around tossed and flown about a cabin without being bolted down. So it's one of those. And most likely have some repairs as well. There is a nice cushion on it, at least.
Is there a cool sword hanging on the wall?
Actually, yes. There's a cool sword on one side. There is some maps and other tools. There is, with that investigation check, you would have with that quick look around the room, probably noticed that there's a chest under the bed, and there is a rug on the ground, almost underneath of you.
Uh-huh. Okay. And how exactly will you know if I can be not tied up anymore? Because I don't really find this comfortable, and I don't know. I kind of want to get out of it.
Once we get a few more, shall we say, applicants ready, we'll be setting off to sea, and then we'll be able to untie everyone and find out who is worth something on the sea and worthy of being paid for their time and joining our crew.
Would I be considered worthy if I got out of the chair and knocked that one out? And I nod towards the bugbear.
Looks over his shoulder and looks at the bugbear and chuckles a little bit. Yes, I'll tell you what, if you can knock her out, I will definitely consider you worthy. However, if you attack me, I will have to defend myself. The bugbear kind of raises the equivalent of an eyebrow at this.
Okay. Bonus action shadow step. I shadow step next to the sword that I fall down. The sword are holding me. And then I run over and punch the bugbear in the face.
Alright, make an attack roll.
You're just gonna let me get out of the ropes?
I'm going
Okay.
with rule of cool on this one. You have a really good plan.
Okay.
I want to
Good.
see what happens with the attack roll.
Okay.
Also, the captain has made it clear that she's not going to stop you from attacking the bugbear because she wants to see what happens.
Would I get sneak attack on this? I mean, technically, yeah, I would
Technically-
get sneak attack on this because assassinate. She doesn't see this coming.
Except that she knows
before her-
she is aware that it's coming though. So
I mean, I guess, but I'm still in front of her in initiative.
in this case, we're not
Right?
since we're not doing an initiative thing. There's going to be no assassinate feat because she knows it's coming.
come on.
She's preparing for it.
Okay.
She's watching you.
There's
Her eyes are
sneak
directly on
attack.
you.
Okay. Why no sneak attack? I wanted to. Okay, yeah.
Sneak attack comes from the ability that they might be looking at something else. Because in a battle,
but-
that's the same reason assassinate will work. In this case, she
Yeah.
directly at you. She's aware an attack is coming.
Yeah,
Therefore,
it's
no
fair.
assassinate, no sneak attack. Sorry.
Yeah, it's fine. I'll do that, and then I'll punch her in the face a bunch of times.
All right.
Also, if I hit, I'll do stunning strike.
All right. Roll your stunning strike. Oh, that's right. Stunning strike is con save. Sorry. 1 second.
Yeah, it's a con save, so that's 2.
What'd you say?
I don't know how many of those. I just said it's 2 key points because 1 for Flurry of Blows and 1 for Stunning Strike. You know what? I'm gonna do.
Oh,
This
yeah.
was
You ended up stunning her. So.
Okay, yeah.
And with a bunch of hits like that, I am
Yep.
in the stun. That she's knocked up against the wall, and it's blood splattering down into her, the coarse hair that's on her face, and I'm on spitting.
I mean, she's still killer if I hit her more.
You hear the captain chuckling at this. Meanwhile, as you're displaying your athleticism, the rest of the Iron Roses, you have arrived on the docks and see the ship, the Chasing Dawn, sitting there at the harbor. The gangplank and several pirately dressed women standing outside, watching things.
Phaedra's gonna stop at a building outside and I guess stop to the edge of there's buildings or something. She's gonna wait for everybody to catch up. She's not gonna just straight up run into the docks by herself. And then how many figures are outside watching?
Currently, there are 3.
Do they appear armed?
Yes.
Long range melee weapons?
Roll a perception check.
Good. 18.
All right. So you can see from this distance that they have cutlasses at their sides. They have some kind of weapon tucked away on the other side. It looks like a holster. It looks like they have some kind of pistols.
Oh my god, I'm gonna get access to guns.
Oh god.
Just imagine me with a gun.
Do you know what a gun is?
That's a good
I
question.
don't know if she would.
Make an intelligence check.
I mean, you've seen
Oh,
grenades
thanks.
before. She might have seen guns. I don't know. In the weird train space, if that makes sense.
I mean, she is a soldier, but I don't know, like...
yeah,
I
you've
don't know.
probably seen them somewhere, like, so you can recognize what type of weapon that is. You don't know what type of capability these ones might have, but you've seen at least flintlock pistols before.
Yeah, I guess like when Beast was getting the grenades in the Nexus, maybe she saw them or saw something of them there.
You might have even seen them all the way back in Port Nazaru.
Really?
Mhm.
Okay. Then she'll wait for the group to catch up, and then she'll relay the information, saying that they have some. Looks like that they have swords and also these things that I remember from Port Naranzaru. I think they're called pistols. They fire these metal like balls or things, and they go very long distances. So they'll see us coming if we're not careful.
Say,
And they
from my
can.
brief time in Emlaren, did I encounter
Yes,
guns?
I was about to say, you would have, at Nimlarin, especially with the person that took you in, you would have been given a little bit of training on things more advanced than the weapons she's describing. Um, the pistols are one thing, especially flintlock ones out here, but you've seen what Laren's firearms can do. So
He is smart
you know
enough
how
to
to shoot.
relay that information to the party, like that. I know that they have a misfire rate and stuff. Like, I know as a player.
Yeah. Flintlocks probably have a much higher misfire rate than the guns that you've actually probably been allowed to handle. That's what, like, people are like, half flintlock guns, or like, pistols that are outside of Lauren's control. Yeah, they're likely to get damaged very easily. They much have a much higher misfire rate or damage rate than what you've seen used in Lauren.
It's like, now he regrets not asking for some bulletproof armor before he left.
Mhm.
Anyway,
Yeah, she'll just relay
So-
that to the dock, to the people on the dock, and then nod at Kale's if Kale shares that.
yeah, no, he would definitely say that he's seen worse, but they're still deadly.
Fair enough. How do we want to do this? Looks around at the group. We want to try to be sneaky, or are we just going to go in and get her?
How big is the ship?
Let's see. I actually wrote down the specifics of this ship. 1 second.
Can I take it all out in one attack?
Doubtful. I look at my.
Like your doubt.
Actually.
You underestimate our gnome, ma'am.
Okay, so it's a gargantuan vehicle, 100 feet long by 20 feet wide. It appears to have. Oh God, I didn't write the depth with the depth down of how tall it is. Well, you can see at least 2 decks from where you're at. It might have more under the water, depending.
Yeah, that ship seems a little bit too big for a crew of our standing.
Kale, you were the one that was doing the ship research, yes? Because you were looking to buy a ship.
I don't know if he knows enough about ships to
Well,
be able to make that kind of.
which one of you was going to negotiate and was going down to the docks before all this happened? Because you had at least some knowledge on that. I know at least one of you did because you were talking about it.
I mean, I have personal knowledge of boats a little bit, but not game knowledge. I wouldn't think, since he's from the mountains and the ocean is scary. He was just going to go as what's the
Negotiator?
persuasive negotiator.
The
Like
face
once somebody finds what we're looking for, yeah,
the
pretty
face
much.
of the party when it comes to dealing with matters of money. All right. So, because Will is asserting one thing, and I know one of you was because we were discussing that the smallest boat would be too small for it because it would only fit 7 people.
It might have been Phaedra.
All right. So Phaedra.
Because I don't know.
All right. I'm gonna go with I think of Phaedra.
But he said they had a vehicle proficiency that would work for boats.
Yeah, I think that was Phaedra, wasn't it?
I genuinely don't remember. I've had a really long week.
All right.
Sorry.
Phaedra. While for our needs, you there, Phaedra, going, oh yeah, this is the smallest ship I can fit all of that exists in the area.
So this is considered sailing. Okay, yeah, no, that was me. Yeah, I have it right here.
This is the smallest ship that you could hope for that will fit everybody in your group, plus people that can actually sail it for you. Because
ship.
It totally was me because I have keel ship 3K in my notes and sail ship 10K. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. No, this is.
So Will is thinking this is too big. We don't need this.
Oh,
and
no.
Phaedra is thinking, oh, this is perfect. Just what we need.
Yeah. No. I'm not saying we steal this boat. I'm not saying that.
I'm just saying, if you see Will getting ready to, like, he gets a smirk on his face and he kind of, like, gets ready to cast a spell, would you kind of look at him and go, no?
She's more concerned about, in total honesty, she's more concerned about saving Lunisa than trying to steal a ship.
Why does no one trust in my capabilities
don't think
of
you need to
taking
worry
care
about
of
her.
myself?
Oh,
I'm murdering a bugbear over here. I'm totally being fine.
That question?
Oh, wait, we're here to save Lunissa? I thought we were just fucking with some pirates.
No, we're not just fucking with pirates, Will. We're trying to save Lunisa.
Wow.
If you blow up that ship, you're gonna hurt her too.
Fine.
I wasn't going to blow it up. I was going to sink it.
She would be on the ship.
Should be destruction. I'm talking about destruction. Will.
Don't you remember the ritual from earlier? She can breathe underwater.
How long does that last?
4 hours.
It lasts 24 hours. It's a really good spell.
But okay.
But yeah, no, fair enough. I like your idea. Let's steal it.
No, I did.
Never think entirely. These pirates may know information about what we're trying to look for.
All right, should we just walk on board then?
I was thinking someone stealthy could scout.
Ah, you're right. Vanessa, where are you?
Facepalm. Hard facepalm. Well,
I would say all of us stealth, but looks at Phaedra.
Listen.
Armor is not exactly quiet.
Who wants to go with?
I'm sorry. I'm a little jingle jangly. I think it's best if I stay behind if you do stealth, but take her with you, and Cinder will fly down next to Will. If things go tits up, I'm coming in hot, just letting you know.
I could go with. I have greater ability.
If
A
things
minute,
go
though.
wrong,
Doesn't that thing do it? And he points at your spider chair.
It should get affected by my invisibility.
Yep, in the same way that Misty Step it would work with Misty Step as well. And the same reason why
Yeah.
Lidissa couldn't Misty Step out of a chair.
Wait, quick
But greater
question.
invis only lasts a minute, though, so you'd
Isn't that
have to do it
loud?
really fast.
Isn't the chair super loud?
Actually, the
I don't
spider
think
chair
so.
is fairly quiet. It's one of the reasons why it's so expensive.
And plus, I can use Misty Step to get around. Fine. Remember, I can cast spells with greater invisibility.
What if I said I could? I don't focus on any spell that would, hide me. I could just bring Vader along
What?
as a frog.
oh,
Toss a frog at him, that turns into a dwarf.
that was either that, or I was going to say, if we get indication that something's wrong, I could dimension doors both onto the ship.
Oh yeah, that works too. But throwing frogs at people is more fun.
So you're saying that I could be a frog and then like you can cancel it halfway through and then I just go flying as my dwarf self, the bad guys?
Well, I don't want to sound like I've done this many times, but yes.
I like this plan. She
When you
smiles.
don't have a Goliath barbarian and you want to do dwarf tossing,
You're not here, Ludisa.
yeah,
You do have a barbarian. He could toss you.
yeah, we do.
I'm okay with that, Will, if you keep me safe. I'd
Sorry
rather
about it.
actually be with I don't is a frog sneaky?
Wow, I was gonna just put you in the pocket.
Oh.
If you're in a,
sneaky feet.
if you're in a pocket, your stealth is his stealth, so you're good.
Just a reminder, I'm gonna have to.
Actually,
work on
his
that
stealth
spell
is
to be able to help anyone else. I'm not gonna be able to help anyone else if we bring Phaedra with their sneakiness.
I have
all
one
right.
condition.
With you guys having this conversation, we are switching back to Lanissa to see what she does next because of the time amount spent. Sorry. As you guys are having
I-
this. Whoop, go ahead.
Okay. Yeah, I have one condition. Walks over to Will. Dog form, so you can steal this motherfucking ship. I will be very angry.
And
Oh,
now,
So the condition is that if I do that, you will be very angry.
now we will be switching back to Lanissa. Lanissa, you incapacitated, and the lizard captain is kind of clapping. That is good. You would be taking Peccolus's place. Perhaps she will be the one to into the reef. What is your name?
Oh, I'm Lunis. Nice to meet you. I would also very much like my daggers back at some point.
Yes. And she kind of waves a hand. Have you had any sailing experience?
I'm not the greatest at sailing. I'm very good on getting onto stuff I shouldn't be on and stabbing people, though. Like, if there's a ship, I can, like, run to the ship and, like, get on there, and they won't know, and then I, like, murder everyone. And then you can just, like, get in the ship.
That could
Like, I can
be
do-
useful if anyone else gets to the reef that isn't there. I note Captain Zram likes to hang out there waiting for prey, rather than going to investigate what's in the trench. Sorry, what's in the reef, not trench, reef.
Just to be sure, you're all pirates, right? I heard her name, like, Queedies.
Well,
Yes.
she calls herself Kyler, captain of all captains. But that is close enough.
I'll learn the lingo.
She kind of like looks at you. Are you being at all deceptive of her, or are you just are you thinking this is cool? I've got a new gig. It's a possibility.
What do you mean exactly?
Are you being deceptive, or are you being truthful?
About what? Me wanting to be on the ship so we can get to the pirate cove? Sure.
She's
Me
basically
wanting
trying to
work
basically before she gives you back your daggers, trying to figure out whether or not you mean to stab her in her back immediately.
No.
She's trying to give you a good judge.
I'm not planning to. I'm not trying to stab her right now. If all of a sudden a bunch of weird people get on the ship and start fighting, and I feel like I need to, sure.
She says, "I will return your good weapons once we get to the reef. First, we need to make a few more acquisitions of people who will be going down there, since it's very dangerous."
True. Y'all do not like men, right?
For the most
Just
part,
be
the
sure.
pirate captain of all captains really hates them, but so none of the captains are men. But it does not mean that individual crew members might not be male or male adjacent, if you know what I mean.
Okay. And you're looking for good people? I mean, people that fight good.
For people who fight and are willing to, either willing or can be persuaded to risk their lives for great treasures. There are fantastical things down in the tragic reef, but since a monster moved in there, it has been very difficult to acquire anything.
I might know some people.
I'll write that. And she kind of like waves you on and like opens up the door, like kind of nudging the bugbear with a toe. The bugbear groans and slowly gets up. Queckles comes. We'll get drinks and hope to hire more people, but drinks on the ship only. And she encourages you to go outside with the bugbear.
I'll go outside with the bugbear. A bit sad that I do not have my weapons. Wait,
Will, you just have discussion, and like Phaedra's giving Will the threatening voice over him wanting to steal the ship, and at this point, Shiori, as they're finishing that argument or discussion, Shiori both, and you notice the side of the corner. Notice Lunissa emerging from what looks to be the captain's cabin up top deck. Being clapped on the back and no longer tied up or otherwise impinged by the lizard woman, also limping out with a very bloody nose and blood just sticking to the fur, is a bugbear who looks very unhappy.
Well, it appeared to be in danger anymore. Clapping her on the ship just beat the ship a bit.
We still need to get Linissa anyway, even if she's not in danger, quotation marks.
The pirates now. She'll be happier, right?
Also, the
Probably,
pirates
she
might
actually
have
knows where to go.
the pirates might have information. So you need to get on that ship either way.
Do I see them with my 32 passive perception?
Yeah, with your 32 passive perception, as you're being clapped on the back and like the captain's saying, "Let's get a drink," you notice a familiar group of people on the docks that are staring towards the ship.
I'm gonna give them an angry look. Like,
Phaedra's got a what the fuck shrug, weird look on her face like, what is going on?
Let's a quick question. Could I at least have my bow back? Like, you already have all my knives. Can I at least have my bow? I gotta have something.
Captain,
the people who are hunting me.
Roll persuasion.
I hate not being a charisma-based character. I mean, I have high charisma. I want to play a bard again. Good. It's good.
That's performance. What's your
Moments.
what's your persuasion bonus actually?
I mean, it's the exact same.
So we're good. The captain nods, points at the bugbear, and says, "Kekulus, go get her bow, and she and I will have a drink." And she starts heading you to the stairs that lead down.
Okay. I'll get the going.
What do you on the docks do as you see the captain, you see the bugbear taking back off towards the captain's cabin, which she just left, but you're seeing your companion heading down below the ship with the lizard captain.
So she been a pirate this whole time and just pulling the wool over her eyes? What the hell's going on here?
Let's find out, shall we?
Oh,
Let's
we're
go
just
on that
walking
ship
up
and find
there.
out. No, we're sneaking up there. What?
Oh, okay. So I'm turning into a frog. Got it.
Yes, you're
Okay.
turning into a frog.
Yeah,
Okay.
we're still doing that.
I didn't know if
Yes.
we were just gonna walk up and be like, "What the hell?"
Better if we. So, Will, wanna turn into a frog already?
Sure.
All right.
Frog.
So, Phaedra, unless you are.
She does not object.
Right, and the frog kind of holds it in his left hand and just walks it close to the body.
All right. Are you pulling your hood over and becoming invisible?
Out of charges.
Oh, you already used it today.
Thing, and I've used it quite a lot. Remember the hospital?
That was
Does it-
yesterday.
Does it recharge on a long rest?
This is a new day.
It does not really recharge on a long day. It requires 12 hours of non-usage.
It's been more than that since you last used it.
But
It's more than it's been well over 12 hours since you were at the hospital.
okay. In that case, I've regained 60 minutes. In which case, I use it. Yes. In which case, he will use it.
Yep, and since Phaedra is in your pocket, she counts as part of your invisibility section, and cannot be seen either.
All right.
We finally
Time
found the limits of the cloak of invisibility, guys.
Yeah, can't use it for more than 2 hours.
Time to get on that ship now.
And
Alright.
Will walks up, goes past the guards, and he just goes up.
Yeah, even if they rolled high, they wouldn't be able to detect you there. Between invisibility and boots of elven kind, you're just not there for them.
The temptation to just cast some minor spells to make the floor slippery or something to make them fall into the water, but no.
Viren will get close to the boat and then great invisibility, and instead of walking up the ramp to get to the boat, I'll misty step across.
Alright.
Because I
So when you're doing that, I do need a dexterity saving throw from both you and Will, just to make sure that, because you can't see each other, don't accidentally land on him.
Wait, did I need to roll?
Both need to roll dexterity saving throws. This is just to see if he's accidentally misstepping into the area where you're currently stepping into. I think you're good. You feel, Will, as you walk in, you do feel a bit of wind, as if something else is invisible but less stealthy than you are nearby, that suddenly just appeared in that airspace. And considering your conversation, the conversation Viren was having with everybody earlier about what his plans were, you could probably figure out that it's Viren that just poured it in. Meanwhile, down below, the pirate captain has taken you to the Slate mess hall, which is basically part of the main deck. You can see that at nighttime, probably the area is strung up with hammocks. There's a bunch of hooks on the wall. But she kind of like sits you down and has some rum brought over. Never sailed before, but running away from something. Well, if we find something interesting in the reef, perhaps we'll be able to use it. Take care of what is pursuing you.
Might it be? Do you have any idea?
Nose. The reef was formed centuries ago on the remains of fought war. You could find wrecks like that all over the coast, 5 miles away from here. And it was carrying incredible weapons, supposedly. Things worth a lot of money still, or incredibly useful.
Ooh, it'd be worth diving then.
Yes. And of course there's always other ships that can be raided. Either for the supplies or people to send it down to see things. Something killed a good sportsman of my last crew down there.
That sounds not fun.
Yes, quite dangerous. And, Will, meanwhile, where are you going? Are you heading down after the captain, or are you going someplace else on the ship?
Will goes in the same direction Lisa was led.
Okay, so you're hearing this.
So does Viren.
So you and Phaedra, Viren, you've only got 1 minute of invisibility. You basically clunk down the steps, and as Will's already gotten in there, has heard about the dangers. Will and Phaedra have both heard the dangers inside the reef. And suddenly, Viren is walking down the steps, and you hear clunk, 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 clunk. The captain looks around.
Before my invisibility,
Go ahead.
when my invisibility is about to wear off, I'll just renew it.
All right.
So,
Well, you're still hearing clunk, 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 clunk. Linissa, you know that sound already. You've heard it enough recently to recognize it. It's Viren's chair. Well, the captain stops mid-conversation with you and looks around, reaching for her belt and one of her weapons.
Will walks further in, away from the noise.
Intruders on board. Linissa, what do you wish to do?
I will draw my bow towards the stairs and look like, why? That's like the look I have on my face. I don't know what that looks like, but you know.
Insight, please, Viren.
side, alright.
Yeah, as you're down the steps and you're seeing Lunissa pointing a bow somewhere in your general direction, you also see the look on her face. She is not happy that you're here.
So I can see the room now.
Yes, you're basically
Is the
in a
pointing the sword in at
No, she is not. She has grabbed something out of her belt, and it's definitely not a sword. It is something small, and with a narrow aperture.
Alright, time to get out.
Those
Nope.
weapons that you're.
I'm out. Back up the stairs.
Clunk.
Nope.
Entruta! Entruta! Suddenly, everyone that's still on the docks, you suddenly see the guards stiffen at their posts and rush into the ship. drying their drying swords. Viren, what do? You get one shot before this turns into a fight.
Hey,
Dimension door off ship.
Okay.
hmm.
I'm not on the ship anymore.
But Will, during this time when she was busy, just have walked further into the room.
All right. You're currently in
Perhaps.
what appears to be a mess hall area.
No, they were sat at the table, but they stood next to it now.
Yeah, they were sitting at the table, and she had pulled out a bottle of rum and two glasses, but she hadn't gotten around to pouring yet because Viren interrupted.
All right. Move in, get up on the stool, get up on the table, then place a small, teeny little frog on the captain's head.
Roll a sleight of hand check.
Invisibility advantage.
Yes.
Can I make a perception check?
You have your back to this.
I guess. Oh yeah, he has boots of.
Yeah, you can't hear him, and you can't see him, so.
Leave a small, tiny friend on the captain's head.
Yeah, Phaedra, you're now sitting on top of a pirate captain's hat.
Please don't defrog the dwarf.
Stands at the table, looks proud of my work, and then just goes and stands in another, like against the wall. Waits.
The captain is slowly making her way up the stair, up to the stairs. Phaedra, dexterity saving throw to hold on to the hat.
What's the ability for frog?
Yep.
Yeah, I got it pulled up already. I have frog pulled up.
Do I,
Hold on, wait.
do I see this frog?
Actually, yeah. As the captain go up the stairs, yes, you see that there's not currently a frog. There wasn't one there before.
Whispered, but it's not bad.
Yep. The frog kind of falls back a bit, but it gets caught in the captain's brim.
Wait a second. There's something on you, and I try and pick up the frog.
Sleight of hand. Yeah, you grab the frog up and are now holding the frog.
This little fellow was on you. He's quite the cutie. Maybe he was the one that made that noise, or maybe you guys have ghosts. I don't know.
The captain turns around and looks at what you're holding. That sound did not sound like any frog I've ever heard. Not even a bullywug sounds like that.
That's fair. I don't know. Maybe he has a weird croak. I don't know that many frogs, to be honest.
Is it your pet that got away?
I don't know what gave this boy the will to get in here, but I'm sure he will not do that again, because this is not the right place for frogs, I think. The water is way too salty for them. But I don't know. I mean, you should probably do a whole check on the ship just in case. Maybe you guys did get followed when you guys, took me.
Are you saying your companions sound like that?
No, I said people who hunt me sometimes sound like that.
You did say something about maybe knowing someone who could use its sub.
What?
She's insinuating that you said something earlier about somebody needing
I know.
needed a job, and she's kind of like thinking.
Oh no, that's not them. They wouldn't be so rude as to just barge in here.
Ribbit.
Or at least I hope they will not be that rude.
Ribbit.
But I don't know. I'll help you look for the guy who broke in now. In the morning, I'll go introduce you to my friends if you want. They're not as
It's
capable as me,
already
but
morning, though. We're hoping to leave by this evening.
I'll go bother them now then. Yes,
I'm hearing a lot of clicking in the
that's
background,
a
by the way, guys.
difficulty. Sorry. My fault.
So, you guys on the docks, what do you guys do as you're seeing this? You're seeing the guards just kind of wandering around on the deck looking for something as if they're looking for something invisible. But, you know, they've got their swords kind of like waving around in the air, might be.
If Cinder doesn't seem panicked, Shuri's just waiting.
Yeah, Cinder, I would imagine, I was thinking like what she would be doing, because she could still sense telepathically, like how Phaedra's doing. She'd just be like, little whimper, nothing freaking out or anything. She's just kind of like doing the kind of curling around like Shiori's ankle and like just like doing like step back. Like she's a little scared, but she's not freaking out or anything.
Oh, and that reminds me, a little bit of walk back here. Larissa actually hasn't gotten her bow back yet. The bugbear was sent to go get it, but then that's when Viren came down the stairs, and so the bugbear is currently at the top of the stairs, looking around with the bow slung over her shoulder. So.
It's a good thing I dimension doored instead of continuing up the stairs.
Engine door. Nope.
Yeah. No, I'm also making my way back to Shiori.
Yeah, so,
Cinder will put a hand on Shiori's like leg and use her like convey of motions that she has, and she'll just because she can communicate simple words, and just basically say unsure, little scared, searching for me, or searching for Will. She'll say Will, searching for Will.
And at this point, you see the captain coming up back the stairs onto the main deck, looking around as well, and seemingly talking to her people. Linissa, what do you do during this point when the captain has left you down there?
I'm alone here with the frog.
Yes, with the frog and with an invisible gnome.
I'm gonna whisper, Will, you fucking imbecile! I know you're here somewhere.
What?
Ribbit.
I put the frog on the table. Get out of here. I will go towards fucking inn and I'll come get you guys.
But it was more fun this way, wasn't it? Isn't that right, Phaedra?
Ribbit.
See, she agrees.
I don't think that's agreeing, but sure.
Excuse me, which one of us can talk to small animals? That's right.
You have a point.
Ribbit.
Don't say stuff like that, Phaedra. How rude.
Ribbit.
She talked about her looks.
Ribbit.
Come on.
And as you're having this discussion, beautiful metal music is now playing from the docks.
I guess that's signal to go. Always when I hear that, I want to go.
Hops over to Will, I guess, just like
Leaps into the thin air.
Yeah, like swan dive. Like, I mean, I have a 10-foot jump.
Will kind of is standing ready.
Yeah.
So yeah, for a moment, actually roll dexterity saving throws for both of you. You get advantage, Will, because you can see her. She does not. She gets a disadvantage because she can't see you. See what happens here.
I don't really have a save, so
Yeah, it's just
Yeah.
the same.
So you nearly go falling and tumbling onto things, but Will's careful hands reaches out and grabs you. From your perspective, Lanissa, you see the frog attempt to leap at midair, stumble, and seem to fall. All of a sudden, vanish.
See you later, troublemaker. And Will walks out.
All right. So Lanissa on the ship. Everyone else is on the docks. What do you guys wish to do? Coming by and listening to the music that.
Is Eric like a street performer? Does he have like a hat out collecting coins or? Yeah. Will just goes in behind the barrel or something that just takes the hood off so that he goes visible, and then he goes up to the hat and tips with a frog.
Do the frog.
Rabbit.
You should always have a good coverage on your frog insurance.
Oh my god.
Such a callback.
I love it.
So, Jesse, you find approximately the frog lands on a pile of 87 87 green jeweled beetles. She's practically
Waiting for Eric to go try to pick up the beetles. Then he's gonna drop concentration.
so that means Phaedra is now sitting on a pile of 87 green beetles, having been turned back into a dwarf.
Well, that was fun. Where's
Yeah.
Farron?
It was
Oh.
definitely interesting. I'm right here.
You almost got caught.
Oh, come on. Almost. There was no way I was caught.
Eric looks at the boat that's on high alert now.
That was not us. That was you, sir. Thank
They
you.
weren't gonna
Eric.
find me though.
After you left, I managed to even put a Phaedra on top of the pirate's head.
Yeah, about that, Will. Why did you do that?
I need a reason for stuff.
I mean, just what was the beneficial part of that plan?
I mean, you were close to the conversation.
What if it ran out and I was just like on top of the pirate and then like just like what were you?
Surprise attack!
Oh man, I don't like that. I guess I didn't stipulate that in the one condition.
No, you didn't.
No.
Still a ship, so you have no right to be angry with me.
Fine. Fine. Have your fun.
I would be a devil's worst nightmare.
So, what exactly did we find out?
Apparently, Lisa has a plan.
Yeah, apparently. Shrugs.
She'll find it, stabbed in an alleyway, but she'll be fine.
I mean, we could go do brunch then.
Yeah, fuck
What
it.
is? I guess brunch. What?
Fuck it.
Did Lisa know how long they're planning to stay in port?
From what I heard, they were going to try to leave this evening.
Mm-hmm.
That's
So
not.
she should be getting in touch with us soon.
Might as well just wait.
I mean, you don't think we're gonna look suspicious just hanging around here in the dock?
Oh, I think so. Yeah. No, but I guess I could leave Cinder up at the dock, and then Cinder could leave Lanisa to wherever we are. I mean, within a certain radius. I mean, she'll be able to know where I am. And we can go wherever. She's pretty stealthy. Small, she can hide places. But I think hanging around the docks, yeah, it's going to be pretty obvious. Especially with that going on. Points at pirates searching ship.
Let's just go and wait. I mean, that's what Lisa wants us to do. That's fine. Whatever. No need for us to complicate things. Smiles.
She sounds like she's perfectly capable of doing that herself.
Yeah.
Well, I guess let's find a place that's a little further back and just wait for her, I guess.
Yeah. I'm not sure what she's planning. I guess she's just trying to get us on board on the ship as crew. I don't know.
We'll find out, I guess.
Yeah.
Gives me
Fine.
some time to read more of these books.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, well, let's go.
All right.
So, Kale, roll me investigation to see if you can find a place for brunch.
You know, I always lead the party into a ditch, right? I can't investigate for shit.
You've got the feeling that there's no such thing as brunch in this town.
Savages.
Phaedra will hide, like a little like dock house or a boat house or something towards like or like an overhang that she can just kind of like hide out in.
There are like little warehouses and like little boat repair shops and things like that along past where the docks themselves, where the actual physical dock planks are, like overlooking the dock planks. So you might be able to get her to sit on one of those.
Okay. Yeah, she'll hang out there and just in view of the ship and then just keep an eye out for Looney.
All right. So where do you guys plan on going in the meantime? Waiting for Lanissa. One of you mentioned an inn, but you guys hadn't. Did you guys pick an inn? Or, if I recall right, you just spent the night on that one ship, in front of the lighthouse.
Yeah, I don't think
we
we've
don't-
stayed at an inn.
We don't have an inn. I don't
Yeah.
know what Lisa was talking about.
We'll just wait somewhere nearby, but out of view
Mhm.
from the whole boat. I mean, I don't really care where
We should just find a bar and fuss about how they have nothing good to drink.
Well,
Bars
there's
are not
the.
the- I read
the-
my book.
We can go back to the place that we went to. What was the name? Where we ran
Which-
into you?
That would be the
Quinza
shell.
Kale.
The shell traveler.
This is really wet. Can we find something a little drier?
You realize we're gonna be on a boat at some point.
Yes, and I know it's going to completely ruin my hair, so.
I could help you with
But
that.
while I can enjoy being semi-dry, can you just give me that?
I can help you with the hair.
The
issue
other
tomorrow.
place that you guys had abducted outside of, was the Salty Sea Dog.
That place was really sketchy, though, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, that would seem
Super
to be
sketch.
more of a pirate bar.
I mean, if it's between sketchy and damp, I guess I'll go with damp.
Let's try to Goldilocks this and see if we can find something on the way to the damp bar that seems a little drier.
All right, give me an investigation check, and we'll see if you find something.
Yeah, I'll look for the prince.
I mean, I'll stick with my 7. I don't think he'd do any better.
Yeah, I'll idly help. So I'm doing this roll with disadvantage because I'm a bit busy. So that's an 11.
Wow. Okay. Let me open up my random tavern generator then. Because with those sort of rolls, you would definitely find a tavern that reflects something more to your.
More to Kale's liking.
Well, I wasn't the one
Right.
searching, so
No, we're just saying
it's whoever had the highest rolls liking.
Well,
Ve-
it's
ve-
Kale
well,
and Viren's liking
drier.
are about the same. So
Yeah, drier.
We're looking for dry.
We're looking for dry.
Dry and
but-
not as sketchy.
I bought a
Yeah.
book full of generators so that I can actually sit here and make a tavern generator with it. So, let's see. Let's start with Viren and give me a 2d100. And then we'll go to Kale because he's the one that wanted it with a 1d4. And next person in line, Shiori, gets to roll me a 1d20.
Generating a random tavern.
Yep.
Rolling dice.
I've got a whole thing full of possible name combinations and potential looks. And... Ooh, this will be interesting. So, you find yourself standing in front of a tavern called the Aching Cavern, and I kid you not, this is all aspects of this tavern are randomly generated. The name Aching Cavern generated. It is very quiet, even though that you could see multiple people inside. And as you walk in, you notice that in the middle of the room, ringed by although the serving folks, which appear to be mostly bullywogs, are wandering about. Even though it would be faster to go through the middle, if they're not even looking at this crater thing. They're just going about serving drinks to the various tables that are around. And you notice that there are 2 tables side by side that could probably fit your party, including a gap that Viren could, fold himself into with his chair. That seem to be overlooking the cavern that no one else has been sitting at. Over at the at the sorry, ugh. Voice. Hold on 1 second. Over at the bar itself, basically directing all of this, is a dark-skinned halfling who is just kind of like every time somebody comes over to the bar and just you see basically a ballet of trays being given by these frog people.
Interesting.
Kind of reminds you of the yawning portal, doesn't it?
A little bit.
Yeah.
Willie just walks over to the crater and looks down.
Let's see. Back. Much like with the yawning portal, You can't see the bottom of it from where you're at.
Vader lets out a deep sigh.
Just
Well, at
we'll,
least it's
we'll,
dry.
we'll kind of suppose another patron there, and just go.
Trin looks up from his sandwich and looks down at Will and blinks a bit. Oh, down where?
Down on the floor. No, down in the crater.
And he kind of looks around, and he looks everywhere but at the crater. And he like looks up, and he looks down at the floor, looks at the other patrons, and then just blinks at Will.
Will just looks back at the group slowly and goes, "Should I throw him in? Why
No.
not?" What's the name of this tavern? Pain in the ass?
The aching cavern.
Ah, yeah, same thing.
So Kale is just going to completely ignore the crater and just go to the bar and see if there is wine here.
Ah, hello there. What can I get for you?
Do you have wine?
Of course we do. What kind? We've got red, we've got white, we have what's called swamp wine, which isn't the best for you and me, mind you, but the froggy folks seem to like it a lot. But you look like a man of great refined tastes. He thinks for a moment. I have a very nice white that has actually been chilled for a bit, thanks to some magic. What can I perhaps serve you a glass? It is a bit expensive for someone like yourself with refined taste. I imagine it would go down smoothly.
Expensive are we talking?
A gold? Sorry, not gold. A purple.
He decides he's like, I've only been in town a few days. I don't have any of those things that you use for currency.
Well, we are near an exchange center, so I think I can let it. Perhaps a gold is the appropriate term.
Sure, he'll slide a gold across the counter.
And he goes and he pulls a bottle out of what looks to be an actually magically enhanced cold box, and it's got a little ice on the side of it. He kind of pulls it up, opens it up, pulls out a glass, a very clean glass, and just starts pouring it in. And he carefully hands it to you.
Kale would just like salute him and then just go sit down at the table that was big enough for the party. And
There's actually two tables
just
next to each other. But
what's that?
two tables.
Yeah.
next to each
What
other.
the tables? Yeah, he would go to where like everybody would fit, and then just settle down and space out with his glass of wine because
Fade will go sit down at the table.
Yeah. Very hollow. She's not sure what to make with the fact that no one seems to be able to look at this fucking thing or even acknowledge it.
Will is kind of near the group, but he's still just kind of just looking over the edge.
Wonder why
anybody
they don't
else
look.
just want to push him in?
No.
Is it just me? He'll be fine, right? He can do.
90. I wonder why they don't look at it though.
Could be my best.
Can I
guess
do
is
like an
fine.
Arcana check on the hole
Sure.
to see if it's some kind of magic? If it's not,
You're kind of like staring at it, And the longer you stare at it, the more you don't want to. The more you get this pressure inside your head that basically says, "Don't look. It's not there." Except that with that Arcana check, you're pretty sure it is there. There's just something that's preventing you from wanting to look at it or acknowledge its existence.
So he just would sip his wine and he'd be like, it doesn't want to be seen.
The hole doesn't want to be seen.
Exactly.
Mm.
Stare at it for a bit. You'll see. You'll feel.
It's just standing there.
Yeah, I figured.
Will, roll me with some saving throw, actually.
Magic.
Yes, you get advantage. You feel the little pressure that Caleb was talking about, but you're able to keep staring.
Does anyone have a light spell that we can chuck down it?
Yeah.
Yeah. If you have something that you're willing to lose.
He'll pull out one copper coin and hand it over.
Yeah, she'll cast light on the copper coin.
To Will and let him make a wish.
There you go. She'll hand it to Will. If you feel like tossing something into a hole.
Claps his hands and then just tosses down the coin down.
The light.
All right. So you toss down the coin, and you see how far can you see? Just in it with any light.
Oh.
Well, I mean, in regular
Watch
light.
two.
Okay, so that'd probably be a little bit past your normal dark vision then, like down to 80 feet maybe.
I mean, I would watch two because I'm curious,
Yeah,
and I get
you
120.
You get 120, yeah. Roll.
I'll look to because I have 120.
Yeah, sure he does too. I think, right? Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Because screw magical darkness.
I mean, he wouldn't tell you to chuck a lit coin into a hole without watching
Yeah.
to see what happens.
So
I think Phaedra's
so you
eye
see
twitches a
it-
bit.
so you see it actually go beyond the range of your light, of your ability to see, past 120 feet. Give me perception checks.
The idea of throwing money
Ooh.
away and the dwarf in her is coming out.
It's just a copper piece, dear.
Meanwhile,
Uh,
Vern's just sitting there reading.
Will
You
only
really
has,
should get a glass of the wine, Baron.
Will only has like the 60 in the normal dark vision. Can he make a roll?
Yeah, this isn't about seeing. This is about hearing.
Oh.
I guess I'll roll. Well,
I
that's
guess
not.
if it's about hearing,
Yeah.
I guess I roll.
We
So-
got a 23.
No, we got a 25.
So you eventually, just after it leaves the realm of your being able to see, you do hear a soft blink, 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 blink of it bouncing off of something.
Not bottomless.
Yeah, no, that would be even weirder.
Yeah, I'd be more concerned if it didn't make a sound.
Yeah.
Because then God's only know where the heck it goes. It's gotta be.
Well-
Now we know it goes down.
I mean, I have to admit this is more interesting than your friend at the moment.
Oh yeah, no, don't worry about that. I agree.
Sorry, Quentin.
Don't
Will
worry,
needs a who?
I will go on my boat adventure alone then, I guess.
You know nothing.
I will
Close
raid
enough.
your ship that you
We'll
buy.
catch up with you eventually.
Will kind of goes to that patron he elbowed before and kind of elbows him again.
Yeah?
Hey, yeah, what does this look like? And then he casts Spider Climb and starts walking down.
Oh god.
Oh no.
His eyes go
He
wide
only,
for
he
a
only
moment,
like walks.
and
Yeah.
1 second.
You're gonna make his head explode.
Yeah.
Funny you should say that. Blood starts
Oh.
pouring down the guy's nose and out of his eyes as he lets out a horrendous scream and falls backwards out of his chair onto the floor.
Oh my
Look,
god.
Is he
Several,
alive?
several patrons come rushing over to see him. If you want to check on his life or death here, roll a medicine check.
Yeah, Phaedra's
Yeah,
gonna
I
go
will.
over and try to help. She
I
doesn't
won't
have
try to-
medicine, but she's concerned.
I ain't
She's
trying to help. I just want to know if he's dead or not.
Phaedra's gonna try to help.
You wanna- Mary?
Shh.
Virion, you think he's dead. Phaedra, you can see that he's breathing, but he's twitching a lot. His eyes are a bit slightly open, but there is blood leaking from his eyes, from his nose, and even a bit from his ear.
Oh my gosh. Oh my goodness. She'll pull out a cloth and start wiping up blood, and with her hands, she'll go and if he took any damage, she'll expend a healing light to try to heal some of the damage. I guess it's psychic damage or whatever the fuck just happened, but she'll try to heal a little bit.
Kale is just gonna peer
He
over the edge of the
gasps,
hole
and he stops bleeding. There's still
and-
blood on him though.
Yeah,
Call down to
she'll
Will.
clean up.
Call down to Will. Hey, I think you almost killed a guy. I'm assuming he's still going down.
What do you mean killed a guy?
Well, that
Like-
guy just started bleeding out of his all the holes in his face.
Well, obviously that's the hole's fault.
Out of the hole.
Well, if you don't want to investigate this, sure, absolutely. Let's leave this unperceptionable hole alone. I'm more than willing to walk out of this and leave it.
Do we need to do an insight check on the hole? Is it evil?
Is the whole evil?
I mean,
Roll
it's
an
an
insight check.
unseeable
Let's
hole.
find out.
I don't have any insight, but
By the way, at this point, I would like all of you who have not already made your wisdom saving throws for this hole to please roll me wisdom saving throws. If you are like Will and have a magical reason to be, not able to magically wisdomed out of things, you can roll at advantage.
What if I'm not looking at the hole and I'm busy reading my book?
This wouldn't be considered a spell, correct?
It's not exactly a spell, but it falls under the effect that the gnomes have.
Magic.
It is considered magic, but not directly a spell, if you know what I
Yeah.
mean.
There's a lot of things that are magic, but not spells.
Okay, give me a second.
Actually, Jesse and I'm sorry, Urk and yeah, you guys need to roll too since you're right there next to the hole.
Yeah, give me a second. My roll point is being slow.
Well, I am.
I clicked the button. There it goes.
Man, these people
Fine.
must be weak-willed. If they can't see this hole.
What do you call me?
I wasn't mentioning you, Will. Just so happens your name is also a term for
Okay,
one's
as far as Urk is
mental
concerned,
strength.
the hole doesn't exist. He can't even see it. He can't turn his head to look that way. He has no idea what the hell
Who's
you
that
guys are
for?
talking about.
Oh, who's that for?
Urk. Urk is the only one of you who failed his wisdom saving throw.
That just means there's more hole for us.
he doesn't believe that the hole is real. He doesn't he can't look to see it. If he tries looking, he thinks he moved his head that way, but is actually looking in another direction. So
Dare to say the hole has intrigued a bit.
Well, I mean, you can leave it alone if you want to.
And the insight that I did on the hole, the 17.
you have no idea. It's much too alien to know if it actually has a will or not, or if there's just something else. Well, technically got a will right now because Will's climbing down the hole. But, but you don't know if it's actually something that you can actually gain insight on or not. It's just too alien if it does have a will.
I mean, I really want to crawl in there myself, but I think that's against my character's nature. He wouldn't put himself at risk.
I mean, I'd love to know what's down there.
Should I just go down?
Yeah, go for it.
Sure. Let us know what's down there. I'll send Squeak with you.
What are we doing?
We're waiting for
We're
Linissa.
waiting for Lanissa.
Yeah, when am I done having drinks with the captain?
That's whenever you wish to, but you have no idea where you're meeting your companions.
Yeah, but
Yeah,
I heard there was a fairy dragon waiting
I mean,
for me.
Yeah,
Yeah,
there's
Cinder's
Cinder.
like-
Wait,
You would go out and see that Cinder's there, since you know what to look for when it comes to Cinder.
I'll follow Cinder to where she leads me when I get the
Although,
chance.
I guess I need to
Alright.
make a. Sorry.
Okay.
Tell me when I get there.
Yeah, Sheik's fine. So yeah, you probably get there by the time that the guy with the bleeding nose has been, is being escorted outside the thing. Like you get to this place called the Aching Cavern, and you see this one guy, a human, being kind of like helped outside by a bullywug, and he's got like blood dried to his ears, his nose, his eyes, his mouth.
probably
He doesn't-
Phaedra's still with him too.
Yeah,
Because she was watching over him the entire time.
Would Phaedra help him back outside? Help him
Yeah,
leave the
Phaedra
place?
would
Okay.
help him outside.
So at that
Yeah,
point,
help the
you
boy
also
walk.
see that Phaedra is on the other side of this guy, helping him out.
So,
Now-
how are you doing?
Drink some water and it'll be where the hell have you been? What is going on? Oh, I'm
I was
sorry.
having drinks.
It'll be okay. Sorry, sir. What? Finger at Lunisa. What the hell are you doing with that captain? What is going on?
I was getting us. What do you mean?
Getting
what?
us a boat? You said that you had somebody chasing you or something.
Yeah, that was
Talking about?
no one. I was bullshitting. Look,
Oh.
I was just worried if you guys followed me or something.
That makes.
But
Well,
things would happen.
we're trying to make sure you were okay. By the way,
I am highly trained. I am not gonna say the word because there's a peasant here. I can take care of myself.
Right. By the way, miss, I can take care of myself. There's a weird ass hole in this bar. Be very careful. It kind of made this guy bleed from the ears when Will kind of climbed down in it. So
Yeah,
I don't know if you
Can you
want
see the
to.
hole?
He's currently there
Sure.
outside, so, unless
I
he
was-
came out with them, Gail.
She'll leave Lunisa inside.
I was. I'll
and-
explain the
and
plan to you.
And you see basically this, a decent sized room. It's actually quieter than you might expect from most places. There's a lot of bullywogs around. Like, they seem to be serving drinks. Some of them are at tables. There's some other humans. There is a dark-skinned halfling man at the bar serving drinks. And most of your companions are staring down at this really weird crater that nobody else seems to be looking at in the middle of the room. Except for Urk, who's just tuning his guitar. And Viren, who is busy reading.
Baron does take casual glances down the hole. Just out of curiosity.
We'll look at the hole as well. What does the hole tell me?
All right, roll your wisdom saving throw.
Hmm.
The hole tells you that that Will is currently spider climbing down it, and that you can't see the bottom of it.
Do you see anything down there?
Now,
Tweak down there with him too. Cause why not?
Yeah, you see a skeletal pseudo dragon as well.
Do you all have a minute? We kind of have to go. I mean, finish this and then I'll explain the plan.
and you want me to hurry up then? Okay.
I mean, that's up to you. I don't know if the hole's interesting or not.
So what? You got us a ship? What were you
Yes.
saying?
So you saw the cool pirate lizard person, right?
Yeah, you will put me on their head.
Yeah. We can get on their ship and they will take us to where we need to go. Because apparently there's this like super secret pirate cove.
So we're going to pose as pirates.
Yeah. I mean, we're working for the pirates, so technically speaking, we're mercenaries on a pirate ship.
Is the pirate we're looking for on this ship?
Not the pirate we're looking for, but she is gonna bring us to the place where we can probably find the pirate we're looking for. Also, she said there is a cool treasure on the way, like a sunken shipyard.
Cool treasure.
Look, I'm just saying, if it's on the way, it's on the way. You know? It's not it's like diving for treasure. It's not like murdering people for treasure, if that's what you're worried about. If it comes down to like murdering people, we can just stab them in the back then, but probably won't happen. So we'll just be like taking advantage of the pirates to get where we're going. You know?
Lunisa, I'm
Mhm.
just going to lay this out. I need you to be honest with us because we're going to be in the middle of the fucking sea. We're not going to be able to easily get away. And you have a habit of not being fully honest or forthright with all of the information. Are you keeping anything from us?
Am I? I don't think so. Right? Chris? Have I told everything?
You could GM roll me something like persuasion or deception, and
I
see
mean,
if
I'm
Phaedra wants to
trying.
insight you.
I'm trying not to lie, so I'm just asking, like, if is there something I forgot?
Make an intelligence check.
Oh God.
I mean, Phaedra would do this regardless because of the shit with the hag. So, yeah. She would want to make sure that she's getting all the information.
Yeah, that's all
She
you
doesn't
remember.
wanna-
That's how you remember it.
Yeah, we're helping. We're helping them out. We'll go to like this ravine. There'll be evil people there. Just ignore them, and then we'll get to the pirate cove. Also, we need to be a bit careful. Like these boys can get on board, but they better not cause trouble.
Well, here's a problem I'm just having with this scenario. Let's say we decide we need to end up finding these people. Now we're stranded with a ship that we don't know how to pilot.
Yeah, but if the people who we are gonna hire don't know where to pilot the ship to, and they're probably gonna die on the way where we're going. We can learn on the job how to sail the ship in like a week. I don't know how long it takes to sail where we're going. And then we'll know how to sail the ship back. Also, once we have the sword, can't we just poof to the next place we need to get going?
Poof.
Doesn't Viren have poof power? Because as soon as we have the sword, we can just be like, good, we're out of here. Right?
Are you talking about a magic circle?
Yeah, you just need one where you're going, right?
That's teleportation circle takes quite some time to prepare.
Yeah, but I mean, once we've got the sword, we can just have you prepare the circle and then we can go, right? I mean, it would be faster than sailing there, and if we have trouble, we can't just sail away from trouble when it's on us anyway. So that wouldn't make a difference time-wise, would it?
So I guess the question for you, Viren, is if you had the time to make the circle, would that be an issue?
I mean, as long as I have the time to make the circle, we should easily be able to leave. But I believe they might be able to follow us if if there's people still around.
I mean, they might come with us on the circle, right? But I doubt they have.
Circle lasts for about 6 seconds before it disappears.
Yeah, not too many people can follow us. And hopefully we'll have killed everyone who would even try to follow us, you know? That's the hope, right?
Roll perception checks, guys.
Perception?
Yes, please.
Trying not to be loud, by the way. I'm not just shouting on the top of my roof. Whoever it is, it's gonna get stabbed.
Fucking hell.
Maximum. I should have actually rolled with advantage. Not that it matters.
I may be distracted with my book and talking, but
So, Lanissa and Viren, you both hear a dull metal rapping from somewhere down below in the crater that Will has disappeared into.
hey, what? Sorry?
Dull metal. Are you okay with
Dull metal rapping. And Will, you can probably hear Viren, sorry, Lanissa calling down to you.
looking okay down there, little man?
What was that noise?
Run
Metal?
DMC. Sorry.
What kind of metal?
Shiny?
Are you the one making the noise?
I'm knocking, yes.
Okay. Not something else.
Knocking on what? The
A
wall?
hatch.
A hatch.
A hatch?
Mhm.
Can you open it?
We really
Will
don't want to.
opposite.
We're gonna open a doorway to hell. What are we doing, guys?
I don't think.
Derailing the campaign. That's what we're doing.
Yeah, Will opens the hatch. She said, "Can you open it?" And he just goes, "Fucking can I?" And just opens it.
Strength check, please, Will. You try, Will, but it's just too strong for you.
It's really stuck in there.
I was gonna say, are there weird symbols on it, like the ones in Lost?
Quick,
How about,
I need dynamite.
how about we ignore the hatch?
Well, now it's offended me. What is this? Is it rust? Has it rusted?
It appears to be a very heavy, heavy. It's one of those turning things, kind of like, a turning wheel thing, and it
A
seems to be.
valve?
Yeah, a valve. There you go, a valve hatch. And it seems like it requires a bit more strength than you have to open it.
Is it wet down there, or is it just dry at the bottom?
It's
like
dry at the bottom.
hatch? I mean, I could come down there. I'm not going to be much help, though.
I didn't get an answer when I knocked, so I guess no one lives down here.
Debating. I don't know. Kale might finish off his wine and then just like walk down the side of the pit too.
What time of day was it?
Oh my god.
It's now midday.
Why not?
We were
Well,
going here for brunch, so according to
Yeah.
Kale, it's between breakfast and lunch.
Yeah, so it's like midday. So
Fuck it, we got some time for shenanigans.
I mean, once Kale would get down there, he would try to help, but I don't think he's gonna
Yeah.
be much
the
help.
the captain did say she wasn't leaving until evening, and by then she was trying to get a full complement.
So, are you turning it the right way? Righty tighty, lefty loosey, the whole.
Beat me to it.
Ah,
I mean, can we do like a help action and like try to
Uh,
tag?
you're gonna have to be the one to roll, and Will can give you assistance.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, I got a -2, so we're not getting in here. But why not?
Phaedra like looks into the
Nope.
hole. This seems like a good use of our time.
You agree, don't you?
Will and Kale
Sarcasm!
together try to open the hatch. No luck.
I mean, if you don't want to help me, I can blow some high-level spells on it.
Don't
It's
you
not-
waste your magic on that.
We might
On
need
your
that
fey.
magic.
No.
Why do you want this
What
open,
do to
Will?
this hatch?
Hopefully, it sounds better than getting on a pirate ship.
We have to get on the pirate ship no matter what we do.
Do you really think I am going to pass myself off as a pirate?
The powerful people. I
I
didn't
cut
see.
some hair off, make it look like a pirate.
You can't see him looking at you with, sheer contempt.
Yeah, how I mean, how am I gonna pass off as a pirate too? I mean, I don't
least-
know how.
I didn't say you are pirates. I said you were powerful people who can beat people up.
Technically, I can't beat people up.
You know what I mean.
You can't beat people up, but you can blow them up.
Yeah, but blowing people up and beating them up are two completely different things.
In the eyes of a pirate, maybe not so much. Strength with strength.
Does anyone else wish to go down there?
I am getting curious because here, think about this. If there's some magic on this that makes people not want to look at the hole, and there's actually something down here, it could be something of use.
Are you saying you want to go down there?
I am
Iowa.
not entirely sure yet. But Phaedra is just kind of staring down at the hole.
If you want to go, I can give you a crowbar. It might help. I also have oil.
Is it like a trap door, or is it like a what you said, righty tighty left? Is it a turn thing? She'll yell down in the hole.
It's like a wheel.
It's like a wheel. So maybe some oil. She'll lean over to Shiori.
Or you'll hand her a flask of oil. Maybe lubricant the wheel.
Coming down.
Be off.
Okay. She'll go down in the hole. She'll click her flying boots. And she'll go down. I'm intrigued. She's intrigued now. She's curious.
You find
We've
you find.
intrigued
By the way,
Phaedra.
yeah, I just realized that I only whispered that description to Will. You find yourself looking at metal, at first, and then you notice Will is actually underneath of it, and there is a hollow, and there is some kind of hatch under there with a turn wheel.
All right. Here, Will. Lube it up good.
Excuse me.
Lube it up good.
Right. Yes.
What do you think I was talking about?
The hatch.
Yeah, the hatch.
Yes, the hatch.
What?
What are you all about? Give me the oil.
Gives him the oil. Well, that was awkward. All right, get it on there good. And Vader will like dry her hands and everything and get a good grip.
You're making it worse.
Oh, I am making it worse. I just realized. And she'll try to turn the wheel.
Give me a strength check.
Athletics.
Go for it.
Does she have a bonus with a up valve?
Yeah, anything with
Actually,
lube.
yeah. Yeah,
Oh.
yeah. You can roll
You
again.
lubed up too good.
Advantage.
Thank God. Feel like maybe like some oil got on the wheel and she like didn't really get it right. Okay, so again. There we go.
There we go. So, Phaedra just kind of claps her hands together after leaving the wheel, and she grabs it and. And the top is open. You look down, and you see a ladder descending even further into something. Like some sort of underground facility, perhaps. Or underground complex. And this is where we'll take a quick break and let you guys think it over whether or not you wish to pursue this now or go to do pirate stuff.
Oh God.
A hole in a hole? That's a whole lot of holes.
Here's the thing: we can always come back to this place.
No, we
We
can't.
can. Yeah,
No,
we
we can't.
can.
No,
Yeah, we
can't.
can.
No, we can't.
Will.
You always with the party.
No.
We can't take the time to explore whatever's under there.
Mm-mm.
Underground facility.
We'll have to wait until we're finished.
Filled with riches. Beyond your imagination.
We have to come back anyway because we have to go back to Andros to get all of our magical items. We have to come back.
For my...
What if this is the kind of thing that you can only see it the first time you come in?
Don't shush.
What is more important is someone else.
Yeah, now that we've broken the seal, someone else is going to take our stuff.
Yeah. Filling
I
the
can
notes.
wedge it. I can close it real good, and nobody will be able to get it. Oh goodness. Okay, I need to go make myself a sandwich. BRB.
Yep.
Yes.
All right, I'm back. Welcome back. Welcome back. So I guess we're just missing 2 people still?
Who we missing?
Looks like Shuttle and Evil. Oh, we're missing a Will too. Wow. Thought I counted everyone right. Yeah, well, Will goes and it just no one ever sees him. What a fun place to find based on a random roll. But I couldn't resist after I saw the not only the name of the place but the random ad, ad, affectation about the place. I'm like, that doesn't make much sense unless it's this. So this is going to be fun. You guys are so quiet. Is there anything wrong?
It is quite quiet.
Mhm.
Yeah. But I understand she's off making food, which is good stuff. But you guys are quiet, so I'm like making sure you guys are okay.
I'm back.
Welcome back.
Welcome
Oh.
back.
I believe that's everyone.
Alrighty. Alright, so 3 of you are now gathered around down into the darkness. What would you like to do?
I'll send Squeak down there if you guys don't want to physically go down.
Just to check it out. We're not diving into this. We have a mission we have to accomplish, but let's see what's down there real quick. And
I'll-
then go from there.
I'll Squeak down there.
Alright, so Squeak goes all the way down and finds himself in a metal room with a few shelves and 2 doors. One that seems to go north and one that seems to go east. It's quite dark down there.
And
So
those doors are
yeah, the doors
closed?
the doors are closed.
Is there anything on the shelves?
Let's see, on the shelves, what would be on the shelves currently? There appear to be a few cans on the shelves, and some kind of mask that doesn't look like would fit a face of any creature that you're aware of.
Can Squeak grab the mask and bring it back?
Sure. It's not that heavy.
Sure, let's have Squeak grab the mask and haul it back up.
Alright. So Squeak come back up, and it's holding a strange looking, it's gotta be a mask. It's got these weird loops on it that look like they tie in the back of a head. But it's shaped too wide to be for a humanoid's face. And isn't out far enough to be something like a lizard folk or a dragonborn. But it's definitely some kind of mask. Like that would cover like a mouth or a breathing hole or something along those lines.
Cans down there. Let's send him down and grab a can too if we can. I'll hand over the mask to Will.
Alright. Comes down,
What
grabs a can, brings it back up. And
am I supposed to do with this?
it has writing that you've never seen before on the outside of it. Some colorful, it basically looked like, a standard size, what we would think of as a small can. Like, something that would fit in our hands, maybe, or a bit bigger. It's got some sort of paper substance around it or something that hasn't degraded, thankfully for you. It's, like, got some basic colors, like red and white, and there's some kind of writing on it in black. But it's writing like you've never seen before.
Say Dharma Corp on it. I know I can't read it. No, but there's closed doors down there. It doesn't have any pictures. It's not like a can of like corn where there's a picture of corn on the can.
Well, to be fair, it is the can is kind of bulgy in places.
Probably not edible. Anyway, so yeah, closed doors. You said you didn't want to go too deep into this, so I suppose that's that.
Yeah, I mean, I'm curious. We can always come back. We have to come back this way anyway. At some point to get back to Andros. I would imagine that we would come back through here. I don't know. We're talking about Poofin, but we need to come back to Andros. We have a lot of money invested in items there, but we could always come back. But yeah, I don't want to go checking this out any further. That's weird thing you're holding.
Yeah,
So,
alright then. Close the
let's-
hatch and I'll seal it.
Okay.
Kale's gonna just tuck the weird can into his bag because why not? I mean, you never know when you need a can full of botulism.
What was it a can of?
I don't think it was labeled, and we can't read it.
It's
Beans.
it's in some kind of no idea. You're pretty sure it is. It looks like a bunch of arcs and random squirrels on the front of it, and that's about it.
All right. Phaedra will put all her weight into it and really shut it tight.
All right,
You
close
can
stuff
come
for
check
now.
this out whenever we come back.
Pit.
Do y'all need a lift back up, or are you good?
Oh, I'm good. He just climbs up the side like.
He just walks.
Fade flies.
Thankfully, no one seems to have noticed you. Not even Earth. Because again, they don't notice anything that's going on in the that little crater there.
So, what did you
No.
find?
What if I stood in the hole and shouted at everyone to look?
Will, no.
Let's not.
So, what did you guys find down there?
Kale's gonna hand him the weird can. Why not? Here. You like reading weird shit, right?
Seems like text. Give me a moment with this. I'll find out what it says.
Will just investigate the
I'll
mask.
ritual cast. I'll start ritual casting and languages.
Okay, it's very strange, because like this is from a language that predates anything you've ever heard, and it seems to be native to this world. But your magic does eventually translate it. It's just it takes longer than you're expecting because let's call your comprehend language spells the equivalent of a program that knows all the normal language.
It says beans. Baked beans.
No, worse
Sorry.
than that. It says something that roughly translated into common tongue would essentially be spam. It's essentially it's the equivalent of someone making it's some kind of jellied meat byproduct that it can exist for a long time.
That sounds absolutely disgusting.
Indeed. You can have it back.
He'll just drop it back in his bag because you never know when you need a can of botulitic spam.
So, what else did you guys find?
This mask.
Interesting mask.
Want it?
Sure, I'm sure I can figure out if it has any sort of purpose eventually. Why not? I'll figure this thing out.
Any idea what that mask is? Or whatever that is? Will?
No.
Hmm.
Why would I?
I don't know. You seem to be looking at it pretty closely.
Because I don't understand it.
I didn't know if if the light turned on and you knew or whatever. Fine, we're moving on.
I'm not from around here.
Let's go play pirates, I guess.
Let's go and play battleships. No, you sunk my pirate ship.
Alrighty.
That could be arranged.
Truly could.
So, Urk, as far as you're concerned, your friends have suddenly seem to have pulled out some weird objects. Just a swollen can and this really weird mask that wouldn't fit on any of their faces or your face for that matter. Would anybody like to examine the mask, by the way? Because I know Urk's looking at it, so. Roll investigation if you do. Please. Okay, so the mask is, again, wider than a humanoid face could take, a bit more out, but not out anywhere near long enough for like a dragonborn or a lizard folk or something along those lines. It does have this weird hold canister in the front, like off to the side of it, and there is some kind of tying loops that would wrap around the back of somebody's head. It's basically a lower part of a face mask that would cover, like, any breathing holes one might have, and probably bring air in through those little holes. Yeah, basically looks like the bottom half of a gas mask, except not made for a human.
Well, Anissa, you're gonna lead us towards your plan. Your
Yep,
ship.
Doom.
a perfectly valid plan.
Really?
Uh-huh.
We're all hired, are we?
Doom, doom, doom.
Yeah.
But they
Just
still
because
have
I
my weapons, so
Because I don't trust this plan, I'm gonna preemptively put up mage armor, just in case things go wrong.
fair.
Kale would tweak his clothing to look sort of like more ruffian, but it really isn't working.
You know,
Alrighty then. You guys head back to the ship. The three women who were standing out there before are there. Though the bugbear is there now too. Like, she's like standing at the top of the gangplank, just kind of watching out, like her arms folded. And she sees you, Lanissa, and she kind of grunts a bit as she sees you.
You seem to be doing well.
Get on in. The captain has been waiting.
See? I told you we were
Thought
good.
more.
I brought some extra people. I thought you were looking for them.
Good.
You know, extra power.
What is that one riding in? And she gestures rudely out at Viren.
And he's
Oh.
just looking at his book, by the way.
He lost his leg in a fighting accident.
He seems to have both his legs. I could see them from here.
They're a bit broken. Just a tiny bit, though.
How will he be valuable to the crew?
He blows things up with magic.
Roll persuasion.
And that chair, he can move around pretty easily.
You may also roll persuasion.
I have 0. Oh, can I give Lisa advantage?
It's too late. She already rolled.
Back me.
Alright, so both of you look at that. She seems to ignore everything you say, Phaedra. But she kind of nods a bit at Lanissa. Blowing things up is right. Oh, go ahead.
No, I tried to say and be like, yeah, he definitely blows shit up. And then Phaedra started talking and I'm like, you could give me persuasion enhancement, but my mic wasn't picking up my voice. So
Mm.
can I
Sorry,
persuade
man.
as well? I'm gonna persuade.
I was about to
because
say.
persuade. Bam, persuaded.
I was about to say, Lanissa already succeeded on this. I said she
I
was
made him
not.
believe it more.
She was already nodding over at Lanissa, thumbing things up. Good. Well, I guess you can come in then. The captain will be happy.
I thought so. Good. We go in.
Yeah.
Yeah, she definitely seems to be watching you.
Hey, Captain. I brought the guys I was talking about. I mean, not the guy. I mean, I guess.
So the captain comes forth and looks all of you over. She kind of nods when she sees Phaedra, nods at Shiori and all that. By the way, is Will visible, or did he decide to pull his cloak on again?
Ah, fuck it, he's there.
Okay. Looks with a bit of confusion at the basically at the the three of the four men that are over on one side. She kind of like nods her head at Urk because Urk seems capable, but she's looking at the two high elves and the gnome. And she first gestures at Kale and says, "This one doesn't look like he knows how to fight."
He fights in different ways. He has interesting magic things. It's fun to have him around.
Well, if he proves unworthy of fighting, he could always be used for chum. Same goes for this one. She gestures at the one at Viren.
Up at
Indeed.
both of them and goes like, wow, I'm more respectable of a warrior than you two.
And she looks,
He's just looking at his book still.
and looks down at Will. And what about you? What can you do?
And our thanks.
What kinds of things?
I wouldn't tempt him.
Space on the ship. Of food.
I don't
Of a
take up much
share.
space.
Of food and a share. Of the loot. Of whatever interesting magical items we find.
He's the one who threw a demon lord off a cliff.
Really? I did not hear this story. And this to tell the tale.
Well, less fault, more like off and make him fall off a cliff.
That is
Turns to
useful.
Shiori. I still need to hear this story, by the way.
Perhaps
Well, that's not important.
it is a demon lord that is haunting the reef that we are headed for. And she waves her hand and says, "Everyone to the posts. We are about to push off. We have enough people to bring us to the reef." And then she kind of looks at you guys again and says, so now at all of you, and says, "Any of you have experience on the water?"
Not on the water, but we do have a little bit of experience in the air. If there anything
There,
similar between the two.
you have been on an airship. In those, but not spins on one.
Briefly.
So the crew members on the ship, start handing out mops basically to
Peg legs.
they start handing out mops to like Urk and Shiori and Kale, and point at the deck where there's clearly some bird shit and says, "Go mop that up."
Kale is just going to nonchalantly use Mage Hand to do it, and then fold his arms across his chest.
Or like they kind of grimace when they look at Viren and other things. And the captain sighs, looking at that, and says, "What about other talents? Can any of you cook or mend?"
I have mending. If that's any consolation.
I did a little bit of cooking in when I was stationed as a soldier. Nothing special, but not much.
You, and she points at Phaedra, down below. Look over the galley. It only takes an hour to get to the reef, but I like to know if you have any skills that can be useful on a ship and not just fighting. And so she points at Viren and Will and says, "You start fixing ropes. Many of them get frayed easily. And if need be, we can have you on sails." She kind of looks at Viren again. "If it gets low enough for you." She seems to be giving him a doubtful look.
I can use Mage Hand.
Can you use that with a thread and needle or your spell of mending?
I can also put myself since I need to go.
Good to know.
He talks to the captain, by the way.
Vader will also, before she heads down to the galley, she'll be like, "And if you need any woodworking or metalworking done, I'm quite skilled in that as well."
Good. Special skills are a bonus. Now, I'm pretty sure it was only 6 of you I handed out. Oh, that's right, Lanissa. Yeah, so Lanissa already, basically impressed the captain and can pretty much do what she wants at the moment. So, yeah, the rest of you were given little assignments. And you notice that this doesn't have, the full crew complement of 30. It seems to have just enough people to run the ship, and with you guys there, you're like the unskilled, interns at the moment.
Oh, are they all undead?
No.
Because he's running on a skeleton crew.
Ha!
Pat you on the head, device.
So to note, Kale would preemptively send Squeak up to the top of the mast, just to sit up there and sort of keep an eye out for shit.
Yeah, that would be really good.
He's not going to mention it to the captain because he doesn't want to call more attention to himself than he cares to have. He's content to pretend to mop the ship's deck with his mage hand.
Yeah, if there's not a whole lot of people on the lower deck, Fader might send her out and about just to see if they got anything interesting down there.
Hold on, I'm trying to put in the actual thing. I thought that I already had this map saved, but I didn't. So I'm trying to pull up the map now.
She's mopping, but she's using this as an excuse to just keep an eye on everyone without being noticed much.
Will is doing like a magic trick where he's pulling one broken end of a rope through his hand and it's whole on the other side.
Baron's just sort of lazily doing that, fixing the ropes with his mending. He's just looking around the ship for the most part.
Alright, cool. I actually got the dimensions of the ship right too. Excellent. There you guys go. So this area over here, I've actually roped is actually where the galley is instead of like the store, instead of like the storage and stuff. That's actually the galley area because I'm just basically using the good dimensions of the sailing ship and the general things that are in. But I've put some other design things in there. So you're in the lower deck, the upper lower deck, and then there's like the hold, which is like the lower deck, lower deck.
And throw her out.
I probably misspelled that terribly.
Hmm?
God damn it, that's not big enough to see easily. Put that to the map layer. There we go. So that area over there, that section over there is the galley.
Cool.
Where was Shuri supposed to go to? Like on the quarter deck or the fore, or just on the main deck?
Yeah, so it's just being sent to wander around the main deck and clean stuff. And of course, this here is the captain's quarters, which is where Thanissa was. I established that there's a table in that galley. So yeah, welcome to being on a pirate ship, guys.
Joy.
So Urk, you said you're playing music?
Eric really can't roll low. When he got signed up for that contract, he rolled a natural 1.
Is there a cruise nest on the ship? Because that's where Lunisa will be.
Yeah, I would say that
Also, did
the crow's nest is equivalent of like in the middle there, but it's like, would be like right there, sort of thing, to establish the crow's nest.
The song Eric recorded is like that one song, the radio will never stop on it, and every hates, but no one stops playing.
Yes, before
Yeah,
we start. So yeah,
Out where Squeak would be, wandering back and forth across the top of the mast.
yeah.
I guess the mast is the straight up part. I forget what the part that holds the sails across.
So you guys have an hour. An hour. Is there anything in that hour you wish to get done before you reach the reef? There's also a who wants to actually do some rolling for me. Potential encounters.
I'll do it. Fuck it. What we got?
Roll me
Will is trying to.
roll me a 1d3. And what is Will doing?
Will is just whenever he can, so like whenever someone pirate walks past him, he's gonna try to piss him off with a pun.
It is smooth sailing.
I'll keep an eye out for possible things that come to kill us. I'll just keep in watch.
Sure, it actually asks a question of any pirate that might walk past her. Basically asking, when we get to the reef, you said, is there anything we should expect? Any of our ships that might be there?
Oh, well,
Competitors.
supposedly that the where'd my notes go? Sorry. GM thing. Your notes always go missing right when you actually need them, and they're always there when you
I
don't.
feel that.
Yep.
Feel that.
Mm-hmm.
Like I have a vague memory of what the other ship is called. Ah, there we go. Oh well, supposedly the blue current is supposed to be there.
Who is that run by?
Oh, Captain, of course.
Will they be against us or with us?
Should be with us.
Good to know.
She has a much larger ship. She's on a long ship.
And knowing our notes is around what we're looking for.
Mm-hmm.
So Will is just sitting there fixing the rope using mending.
All right.
Claim for Viren. But Viren's also just looking around.
So, just to be clear, you guys are actually being very helpful to the pirates and fixing up ship things and not causing problems for them, other than potential nuisances.
Well, whenever one of them walks by, we'll say something like, "Why don't pirates clean themselves before they walk the plank? Because they'll wash up on shore later."
One of the
God.
roll performance check, actually.
Oh, yes, charisma.
It's not your strong suit, right?
Ha.
She just looks at you and wrinkles her brow and says, well, I don't know about other pirate organizations, but we don't walk the plank here."
Ain't no fun. What has 8 legs, 8 arms, and 8 eyes? 8 pirates.
And she has both her legs, both her arms, and both her eyes. She's just staring at you and shakes her head.
I feel like I have a misconception about pirates.
Wouldn't that be 4 pirates?
No, you
No.
don't get.
Then I know what you
It's so
call
funny that
what you
Quinton
what you call a pirate with 2 eyes and 2 legs. Rookie.
Oh, God.
Throw something at him.
I feel like also Shuri is just trying to pass knowledge that Zram's going to be there.
Why does it take for pirates to learn the alphabet? Because they can spend years at sea.
And here I thought it was because they're focused on their R's.
My Lord.
So what, does that pirate chime in with that?
Nope, that was just the GM.
Oh.
Too funny.
Here's a joke that works for Viren too. Where can you find a lost his wooden legs? Right where you left him.
Death glare at will.
Finger guns. So that is what Will does. He's just
Cracking jokes.
cracking joke. He gets a little bit happy if he pisses someone off.
Mm.
He's trying to be a little bit verbally annoying, but he's doing his job.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Viren's doing his job too, but he's also reading his book because knowledge.
Because knowledge.
As you guys are doing that, again, you can see that Shiori's wandering around and whispering to each of you that about the Zram connection.
Oh yeah. If
Kale has
anything,
any idea who that is?
If anything, Will is a distraction.
Yes.
Will's always a distraction.
How can I be a distraction and not be seen?
Yes. I don't know how.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Kayla is the
You're
only one in your
distracting,
party who
see, you're
has no idea whose ram is and why it's significant.
Just
I think,
along
like,
for the
Kale should
ride.
be, like, just let Kale know that, like, it's important to keep that in mind. Basically.
Alrighty.
Doesn't want to say exactly on a pirate ship.
I'm sure it'll all be worth it in the end, right?
Yeah, yep. As a player, I still don't know what the fuck we're gonna do when we get there, but yeah.
It's a
We'll
second
figure it
die.
out.
Yeah, you do find like hardtack and no fruits, but you do find dried fish and some extra salt. Let's see what else you got in there. You just came from port, so there's actually some rashers of bacon. Someone has like part of a pig that they managed to bring on board, including the bacony bits and some like ribs and bones, things that could be used for other processes. Uh, some potatoes, some carrots, a few other things of the like.
Potato, bacon, rib, hardtack. Any grains or anything?
Let's see. There's probably some flour and maybe some more hardtack. Well, hardtack is pretty much the closest thing you got to anything
Yeah.
grainy in there. But you probably have like some like small amount of flour like kept in a sealed canister to keep the weevils out.
Okay. Did I miss anything? I got carrots, onions, potatoes, bacon, ribs, part of a pig, hardtack, dried fish, and flour.
Sounds about right.
Okay. Phaedra will start trying to make something out of that, and then while she's doing that and taking a little bit of time to look around, she's gonna send Cinder off. If the lower deck is pretty empty, she's going to, because I would imagine people are getting ready if they're gonna leave soon. Everybody's up on the main deck, so she's gonna just send her around to try to see if she could see anything of interest downstairs, like trying to figure out if there's anything that they're storing down there, any prisoners, anything really of interest.
All right. So, I would like for you to roll an investigation check with Cinder.
12. It's not super good.
Yeah, so she looks around. Definitely no prisoners down there. A lot of like barrels and crates, but hard to tell what's in them, if anything at all. Because she also sees like a group of sacks that are laying on top of crates that are clearly empty. Yeah, you again, you don't see, you can see that there's capacity for passengers, but you don't see nearly that many. There's like maybe only 10 other people on here.
Okay. And then I imagine Phaedra in the kitchen. She's gonna make some sort of like a hearty soup using the ribs, potatoes, onions, and carrots, and get some water and make like a strong broth and just start like boiling it.
All right.
And
So that'll still be being worked on by the time you guys get
Yeah.
to the reef, because the reef is only 5 miles away and the ship moves 5 miles an hour. So it's actually
Yeah.
pretty quick.
So she'll get that prepped, basically slow boil. She's just basically making like just a hearty pork stew.
Sounds good.
Yeah.
So you guys up on the deck, especially Lanissa, with your high passive perception and the fact that you're up in the crow's nests, that you would notice the other ship in the distance as it draws closer and closer. Well, rather, your ship is drawing closer and closer, and it is seemingly staying anchored somewhere.
Your flag on the ship?
Let's see. So, flags. Do they do much with flags? There is a small flag that it's kind of like this blue, pretty much just a flat blue flag of some kind. You don't see any markings on it, at least not from this position, which, in and of itself is
Yo,
odd.
Captain. Ship
She
with
is
blue
on there.
flag.
Ah. Oh, good to know. That is the blue current. That is where we are headed. It is currently parked above the tragic reef.
Okay.
And the other pirates kind of like rush around and start changing the sails so that you guys can sail up close. We will be welcoming the other captain on board, she says. And it is a much larger ship than yours. This here, you're on a sailing vessel. That out there is a long ship. It is much bigger. In fact, you're looking at it, and it is. Oh, actually, in spite of its name, I'm looking at the dimensions. It's just taller than your ship. Because it is only 70 by 20, and yours is 100 by 20. But yours only has so many decks. This one has more decks.
Okay.
Because the capacity for it is 40 crew and 100 passengers, whereas yours is only 30 and 20 passengers. So
It's probably got more decks that go like underwater because it's bigger and heavier.
Yes.
So
but it's not quite as long as your ship. Sorry, my bad when I was describing the ships on that. I just assumed longer, just by definition.
It's long in an upwards direction. We refer to as a tall ship.
Yeah, it's basically seemingly designed to carry more people. Is basically what it is, and your ship is designed to carry more cargo. Yeah. I'm like looking better at the description, but that's definitely the sort of ship that more of a get more people there and attack things and this is the sort of ship that's let's carry cargo sort of ship. So there you go. So the ship kind of like as it's maneuvering comes in close to the long ship. And you don't see it's a long ship, so one would expect on board on top, but you don't see that many. You just see a handful that are busy fixing out the gangplank, and you see a statuesque blue three crane who happens to be standing up there. Shoulder, not quite on her shoulder because a little too big for that, is a creature covered in yellow feathers that look that looks like a parrot at first from a distance, or some kind of bird because it's beaked and feathered. But as she steps up on the gangplank and starts coming close, you notice that this creature on her shoulder has hands and 3 tails sticking down below it. Something that none of your characters have seen before. But I know you guys have. Am I transmitting? Did I just suddenly lose contact with everybody?
No.
No.
Right.
Trying to imagine what it is.
It's a monkey.
No, it looks more like a parrot, except
Or
bigger.
birds from the other one.
But it's a
Bird
monkey parrot.
Yeah, it's from. I don't remember what they're
One.
called, from the description, they're like the ones from the finale of our last.
They don't
other
have
game.
wings, so not quite like the monkey bird from Pirates of Dark Water. I really like the
okay.
monkey bird from Pirates of Dark Water, by the way. But no,
I don't know.
it was a cartoon from the 90s. But,
Now I'm really intrigued.
But yeah, it's the same. This one's different colored than the ones that you as players have seen before. It's yellow, but it's definitely one of the same creatures that was clinging to Septimus.
Oh, wait, what?
Yeah, that's what I said. They're like
Beak, feathers, but
Oh.
hands and tails.
Oh, okay.
fine.
Interesting.
So you see the captain of the Chasing Dawn come up and just kind of take off her hat and just like give a slight bow to the blue 3 crane who comes on board. She seems to look. The 3 crane just seems to look you all over with their eyes, or her eyes, since you mentioned that it was a female.
She had. Oh yeah. Go.
And yes, you do notice that strapped to her side is a rather impressive sword. You also notice that the little bird creature also happens to have a small cutlass of its own, like a small short sword that it's carrying, as it's hanging off from her side. Her antennae wave, and she seems to be talking telepathically to the other captain, who's nodding, and then she turns and looks at all of you, or all of you.
I'm on the top of the thing.
Okay, so you're staying up above. What about the rest of you?
Fader came out.
I'm on.
Yeah, I'm on the main deck. Reading.
If they called that they had arrived, she would have come up. If there weren't any calls and this just happened,
sorry,
then she would still be down there.
there was definitely some calls, say,
Okay.
of reconnoitering, and probably a being so caught in the description that I forgot about the sounds.
No, you're good. Yeah, she'd come up.
Yeah, it's like Captain on deck, Captain on deck. Of that site. So, and yeah, don't worry about it, Jesse. If you need to leave and get food. Food is more important than gaming. It's the most important thing. So the new captain kind of turns and telepathically broadcasts to all of you. It seems the Chasing Dawn has gotten itself some fresh applicants. Good to know. You look mostly capable. And kind of like looks towards Viren. Viren, are you still reading your book?
Of course.
Alright, so she stretches out a hand, and the monkey bird type creature, full of feathers, scrambles down from her shoulder. Eat! making bird sounds, and scrambles over towards Viren and just tries to tear the book away from you.
Excuse me.
Do you wish to try to hold on to the book, or are you gonna just let it go when it pulls up out the book?
I'm holding on to this book. It's my book.
All right, make a strength check.
Strength check. That's funny.
Yeah, you hold on, and it's like hissing at you and cawing, and seems to be glaring at you. And you hear in your head from the pirate captain saying, as she steps towards you, Viren, saying, "It's in your head. It's quite rude of you not to be looking at me while we are speaking."
One can pay attention to someone speak while reading. Thank you much.
You are showing complete disrespect to Captain and to me.
Knowing is half the battle. He does put the book down on his lap and looks up.
She's just kind of staring. Then she moves back, and the creature also goes scrambling across the ground and climbs back up onto her shoulder, watching you. But that creature is now watching you intently, Viren. You can feel its little eyes on you. Very good. Very, very good. You all hear in your heads. Soon, all of you will be heading down into the reef. There is a problem down there. Hopefully there's enough of you that are strong enough to take care of it. And for that, you will be much rewarded. As you might have been told, there is plenty of treasure down here in the reef. And if you are assisting in destroying the creature that is currently haunting the reef, well, that will allow you to take your pick of the spoils. Are there any questions?
What type of creature down there?
That is unclear. The reports of a survivor, before they died anyway, claimed that it had both a hard shell and tentacles. They said it didn't exactly have a head, it just had a gaping mouth full of teeth. Nothing that I'm aware of has such features, so it's unclear what we are dealing with.
Is that all the survivors told you?
It was all the temporary survivor was able to get out before they expired.
Can Viren try and figure out what it might be? Just based on... It's terrible knowledge at the moment, but that's all we have. He'll try figure out if he knows what it could be.
Give me an Arcana check. You sit there and you think for a while of all the detail, the few details that were given. It's like, think Kraken, no, Krakens don't have shells. Dragon turtle, no, dragon turtles don't have tentacles, and they definitely have mouths. Definitely have heads. Octopus? No, it could be an octopus in a shell. That could look weird. No, it's definitely much more dangerous than some sort of mere giant octopus. Squid in a shell? Same problem. This creature defies classification of anything you've ever read about, heard about, or anything like that. It's possible it could be an amalgam of several creatures that might make it quite dangerous.
Baron sort of just mutters to himself and says, "Well, several creatures could be an interesting."
Yes,
Just-
and that's not all. Not every... Before she passed, she's the last one to successfully survive coming back up did mention that there seemed to be some sort of fanatical following that are stationed somewhere inside the reef as well, worshipping whatever creature this is. It's unclear if the creature is aware that it has followers or if they're just standard lunatics. So, how do you guys wish to proceed?
So what are we waiting for?
Fury will ask a question. So what you're saying is, if we can clear this thing out of here,
Mm-hmm.
we can choose any reward we want, basically.
Yes, there's lots of treasure down there to go around.
And what if what we want is not down there?
Such as...
Well, I don't know what's down there, so I couldn't tell you if it's down there or not.
Well, name your price. If you have a specific price in mind for tackling such a dangerous creature, perhaps it can be arranged.
Looks at Phaedra like, should I even bother asking for this?
Not right now.
Might as well. I mean, worst case scenario, she's gonna say no.
Shrugs. Does it go ahead? She genuinely doesn't know. So go for it. That's what she's basically saying with her body language.
Mhm. I'm honestly curious about that blade of yours.
You hear several...
It's very
Oh, that's right. No, you're... are you talking out loud or you're just talking in your heads, by the way?
if she can talk in just her head, she's probably just talking just in her head.
Okay.
Says,
Yeah, I was just commenting on Phaedra's body language because she can't communicate anything to Shiori right now. Just
Mhm.
Yeah. So the Thurkin's antennae just kind of whip up and start waving around back and forth a bit. And she even tilts her head somewhat. My blade?
Curious one. Very ornate.
Roll a persuasion check.
did you see Phaedra's got detect magic up? Is that thing glowing like a son of a bitch?
Oh, yes. It's glowing the same way Irk's blade's glowing.
Yep.
Oh!
Oh my god!
Ooh.
So she pays in advance, I hear.
She thinks... she seems to be thinking and contemplating, and she then breaks out into a grin about something. I'll tell you what. If you agree to relinquish any other treasure that might be down there, and any other payments, I will give you and your fellows, I imagine that they are all part of your crew, shall we say, independent of Fizrag. She kind of looks you over the people that don't look like you're sun dappled at all, that look still like you're getting your sea legs under you. That will be your one and only reward here. Whether you continue on in the organization after is another matter, But any other treasure here, any other payment, money, anything, is null and void. Your only recompense will be the blade. And that's only if you destroy what it is that's haunting the reef.
Question: do we get paid in advance?
No.
Ah, shit.
Good try, Will.
Out of the scenario, yeah. Coral with that. Looks at everybody else.
Splendid. What?
No disrespect, Captain. Can I have a moment to speak with her?
Of course.
Pull Chiardi aside. Didn't we establish that there is... She can't just give us the sword? Isn't it, like, bound to her? Didn't we,
Remember-
like... Hmm?
If I remember correctly, the only way it can be given is either by the wielder's permission,
Or death.
willingly giving it away, or death.
Okay.
Much like how Litchi friend, because technically that one technically belongs to him.
Well, I didn't know since he was the architect of these things. I didn't know if that was like a special thing. Didn't know if that was across the board. I just wanted to confirm. That's all. I couldn't remember. Sorry.
If there's an issue, we'll deal with it then. I'm just hoping to not deal with two pirate ships.
Oh, not on my to-do list either, hun. I couldn't remember. Very well.
How far down is it?
Yeah, that was all she wanted. She just wanted to confirm that.
GM is now pausing and realizing I did not write down the depth. What's a good depth for coral? Does anyone know offhand?
Well,
5 feet.
No. Like,
Well.
how big of the... So if this thing can hold a goddamn kraken, or whatever the fuck this thing is...
What?
It's very dependent on, if it's a tropical reef, it's very dependent on sunlight. It needs full
Yeah.
sunlight to thrive, so it wouldn't be
Can see the top of it, surely, but
It's
You can
basically
go deep...
it's basically a that has been formed out of wrecked ships. It's 5 miles off of the coast, and so there's like reef that's like basically attached itself to the ships and thrived as a result.
Are we talking like Great Barrier Reef? Because that goes down a little bit.
I mean, if it's an oyster reef, it could just be a shelf that oysters have crusted over time.
Yeah, it's like there's... I don't. I always think so. If it's like based out of ships, is it like a cylinder kind of? Chris, is that what you're imagining, or is it a shelf?
Hold on, I'm actually looking up reefs right now.
Oh, okay,
habitat of deep water corals, also known as cold water corals, extends to deeper dark corals ranging from near the surface to the abyss beyond 2,000 meters. Oh yeah, I'm more imagining like 200, 300 feet down at most. So yeah.
Okay, cool.
Not sure if we could survive that phizically without being crushed.
Yeah, exactly.
2,000 meters and going, yeah, that's where you. It's not good. No, but I'm imagining
Here, let's go back to the 9 hells. Let's get that diving bell, and then we'll be right back.
So yeah, you can only free dive 40 feet. How deep you can go before you get crushed?
So I keep thinking 100 feet. Let me check.
There is no spells that makes us go deeper, so
But isn't the depth also having to deal with the air, lungs, and everything like breathing? Wouldn't we equal out?
With underwater breathing, we'd be okay because you're not. It is the air getting crushed out of your lungs more than.
Yeah.
We
So I
might
think it'll be okay.
might not even have to worry about decompression because you're not breathing.
Yeah, fair. That's what I was kind of thinking too. So
Oh yeah, the diving activity.
I've never died. Was that what's doing it?
But you have pressure
guys.
from the canister.
Yeah, it's talking about like diving with it. Talking about like over just over 100 feet. So with the spell underwater breathing, you're not worrying about the compression issues when it comes to like the bends where you get air into your things because you're breathing water. So you're fine there. You're not gonna be worrying about an air embolus by breathing underwater. That being said, there are other issues such as crushing and temperature. But I'm thinking that if normally you don't have to worry too much with a regular scuba set 100 feet, then this like 100 to 200 feet with a magical spell is going to be okay.
Me.
Okay.
I mean, it's not.
Phaedra's okay with the cold. We'll go down there and figure it out. I mean, that's what we have to do, right?
George says basically once she back, she basically like, as long as it's no funny business, this is a deal.
So she reaches out her hand towards you. One of her hands out to you, Shiori, to shake.
Shiori will shake it.
Our pact is sealed. You will lead your people down there, and after you kill the creature and come back up, as long as you do not take any other treasure from the reef, I will gift you this sword.
Don't know.
All right. So, Iron Roses, you see Captain Zram turn around and head back over to her. Well, she actually heads over to Fizrag, and the two of them head back over to her ship. What would you like to do? How do you wish to get?
Will kind of turns to the closest pirate and just goes, "Who was that? I wasn't paying attention."
That was Captain Zram.
Ah. Right. Who?
Shiori's going to go to all the shady biz people and be like, "We are not taking anything. I don't care if it's a book." Looks at Vera.
He's starting to open his book to read it again. It's like,
if I find a bottle of wine down there and I drink it before I come up, does that technically count as taking something?
Yes.
Darn.
Did it say anything?
Said Eddie treasure.
All right.
From the reef.
All right.
I think if you
Anything?
steal another octopus, you'll be fine.
Creatures are fine.
What if I kidnap someone?
Who are you gonna kidnap from the bottom of the ocean? Well,
He's down there.
I don't get it.
You'll never know.
No, I guess not. Okay, so we have no idea where this thing is. We have
In the water.
we
Down.
have a close proximity of where this thing is, but no real exact location.
Do we have a description of the object?
You.
We do.
Big shell, tentacles, teeth.
I mean, I could send Squeak down for reconnaissance. Drop him over the side.
Alrighty. Is that what you're doing? Does
I'm
Squeak...
offering it. I'm not.
Oh, the question is...
He has a swim speed of 30 feet.
Got it. That's what I was gonna ask.
You know, wouldn't be a
Oh.
bad idea.
I don't think so. Go for it.
Oh,
40
40 feet
feet.
swim speed.
Nice.
Super fast.
I guess, yeah, Kale would just hold Squeak over the edge and just drop him in the water.
Does it squeak?
Yes, all the way down.
Imagine you just grab it kind of like by the tail and just toss it.
Yeah.
Yeah, unceremoniously tucks this little thing in the water. And it, yeah, I'll send it down. Or send him down. Actually, I don't know. It doesn't have genitals. I don't know.
Alright, so Squeak
Squeak.
goes down and down and down. Roll perception for Squeak.
Oh, where does character sheet go? There it is. He gets advantage.
Alright. So Squeak moves past a lot of fish and finally makes it down to the to a beautiful coral and all sorts of dead ships. And you can see lots of bits of old bone and everything down there, and old skulls in weird places. Crabs have apparently made them homes and been carrying them around as like, shells, and just moving them around. And occasionally a crab pops out of a skull.
Oh, crabs.
And yes, crabs are amazing. They're also very creepy when they find some weird stuff to camp into. But you spend some time down there until eventually as you get further away from the boats, from the boats above and more of the ships, you see a large floating something. The dark shadows suddenly falls over you, and this large floating something seems to be coming into view. Roll dexterity saving throw, Squeak.
He doesn't really have a save, but there you go. The distant dex.
Yeah. So Squeak spins out of the way, him, or it rather, and Squeak looks up and sees the underbelly of some kind of shell, but rather than feet or turtle feet or anything like that sticking out of it, you see a bunch of tentacles that seem to be propelling it along, and a huge open mouth full of teeth. Not really
There
a mouth
is.
exactly, just a gaping pit in the shell that's full of teeth.
Like the underside of the shell is just a giant like mouth.
No, it's more of like, where the opening, where the turtle's head would come out of. Instead of a head, there's just this basically just an opening full of teeth, like just a single mouth and no head.
On
In my
seeing
head,
that,
I'm thinking like noddle. Is it like a noddle?
No, the tentacles are around the body where you would expect to see legs, arms, and a tail.
Oh fuck.
full shell with tentacle legs and a mouth where the head hole is.
Yes.
Something
Ugh.
took over turtle shells. What it looks like.
So yeah, Kale's going to dismiss Squeak and bamf him in beside him and be like, "Well, that's not cute." And
Found
he would describe what he saw. It's big. Like, can he describe how big it is? Like,
I
ship?
believe
Is it as big as a ship?
I believe it's a gargantuan. Let me double check. Hold on, I'm looking in the wrong section. Here we go. Yes, it is gargantuan.
Big. Do we really need this sword?
Yes,
Yes.
it's not an option. We have to do this.
What was down there?
Well, we do. Technically, we
Absolute
have
power.
another option.
Is it easier to fight pirates than a giant turtle squid thing?
Wouldn't be exactly just. I don't think I could. No, I can't. I would rather. The option isn't something that I want to do. The other option is the Kreen captain DM out of character. Is the Kreen captain away from this group?
Yeah, she's
Or
on the
is
other.
she
She's on the
still-
other ship now.
Okay. The other option is something that is non-negotiable. This captain has not done anything to wrong us, and murder isn't something that I feel like doing. And that's the only option.
Other option.
It's not.
She almost destroyed my book.
I mean,
Look, there's a tag.
And
Also,
honestly, you don't need to get your hands
Spell
dirty.
Mending.
also, to be fair, like, it's not because she didn't kill us that she didn't kill other people.
Not getting my hands dirty. It's because this person hasn't done anything wrong. Murder
I mean-
is not right.
Wrong
She
to you. You do know what her occupation is, right?
I mean, a pirate, but honestly, if anything that has taught me, if I've learned anything over my time with all of you, look specifically at Will, is that things aren't cut in dry black and white. Just because you're given a title or you have some sort of, like, I don't know, stature doesn't make you a good person. Just because some people are does not mean she's a bad person. It's not black and white. There are shades of gray. I'm not
Okay.
murdering her.
I
Period.
guess we're fighting the turtle thing then. Let's go.
Turtle thing is evil.
I
and
know.
Deserves to die. I mean, come on. Kale is going to play the devil's advocate. He's like,
Yeah, I
really
know.
wanted to kill that aboleth. It killed a few people, but they were bad people.
Yeah.
You're right in it, but I like my odds better against the captain than the giant floating horror.
We'll be fine. Think about all the loot we will get if we kill it.
We
won't
don't get
anything.
any.
We
don't
can-
get
we
Like,
can-
we literally get nothing out of this.
We get
other
a
than
Listen,
the
sword.
we do not.
that we
We
could
We can
kill
take
for.
the juice and the corpse, put it in the bag.
Hey,
Now,
are you still up in the crow's nest while we're having this conversation?
I can read lips from up here. Fuck
Well,
you.
no, I just I
Yeah.
just imagine them yelling back and forth.
Beat this
and I
fucker.
thought,
You-
but listen, Melissa said she came down to talk to you guys or something.
Oh,
He would
okay, I missed
probably
that.
come down.
Oh, okay,
Yeah, 'cause we don't
No,
want to be
if-
shouting about killing a captain.
but
Not
she was
specifying
there.
something.
But it's not that we're not getting anything, Lunisa. We get one of the swords that could help us beat Galen Cole.
Yeah, and we could like maybe get some monster parts. I don't know if they care about that. They care about the treasure below it, right?
Yes.
We can talk to them later after we do it. Look, maybe a little bit like, oh, you guys did it, good. You can keep the corpse or something. We'll see. Look, what I don't know. They don't know what's down there.
Curious. Does Phaedra still have detect magic up?
It lasts 10 minutes, doesn't it?
10 minutes? Yeah.
So yeah,
I mean,
she
you
should
can
still
keep-
have it up.
As long as you.
Is there anything weird with Shiori's hand that shook the captains?
No. No weird spells. Nothing cast on her.
Okay.
I
Sorry.
have a question because I just had an idea.
I just went to the unbreakable oath in Harry Potter. I'm sorry.
Yeah. So you said that they had,
Unbreakable
like,
bow.
out of character, they have guns.
Mm-hmm.
Do they have cannons?
Yes, they should. Hold on. They have at least one ballista, and let me reopen up my thing for the sailing ship.
More specifically, cannons.
Yeah, that's why I'm opening up the information on the sailing ship. Hold on.
Yeah.
Because those things can do a lot of damage.
Yeah, they can,
Yeah,
but you can't fire them up.
they definitely have a cannon. But it's like something that you could really only use against the other ship. It really doesn't work well if it's fired into the water.
What is a cannonball made out of?
Lead
It's made
Which
out
is?
of
and iron.
lead, iron,
iron.
So
harder
we'll-
metals.
To take a cannonball.
I was gonna say the cannonballs here are close to your size, and probably way more than you do.
Rolls it up. I need this.
All right. What you playing there, Will?
You could probably ride it down into the water.
Mm-hmm. Oh, wait, it will make
Well-
it sink really quick.
Yeah, it's that too, but...
Hmm.
I was thinking... What if I cast heat metal on this and make that thing swallow it?
That could work.
Okay.
That could work.
Who's going to be the one to?
Wait, wait. Yeah, I'm with Kale. Where are you going with this?
What? Just deliver it into its mouth.
How are you going to deliver it?
Who's going to hold it while it's heated and get it in there?
I'm-
You can heat it while it's like in between the hand and the mouth, probably.
It's not that
Hey,
slow.
how much bacon did we have?
I GM? How much bacon did we have?
Make a roll a 1d20, please.
Sure.
Probably not enough. If it's a D20.
Take care, Jesse.
I was thinking, what if we make a cannonball in a blanket?
Wrap it in bacon.
Like, I don't know.
Well,
You do have 7 pounds of uncooked bacon.
I get mad at this though.
Yeah.
Yes, Cinder.
delivery.
Excuse you.
It's a joke.
I mean, I know Dimension Door. I could take it in and.
Perfect. You swim into the mouth.
So your plan is
I'll
to dimension
be riding
door
with you.
into the unknown creature.
I'll just swim right inside. Sounds good. I'm
Yes!
all for this.
It wouldn't be the craziest thing I've done.
No. Mm-hmm. It's up there, though, Will. It's up
I'm-
there.
So,
I'm just one thing. I don't think my bow will work underwater. Mm-mm.
Spellcasting. We never really decided that 100%.
Yeah, that's true. Like, if I can't cast spells underwater, then no, we can't fight this.
We just have to. No, that just means that we have to bring it up.
If we can get it up, if we can coax it to the surface.
Mhm.
Yeah. Who's fast? Can we just send Luna in a circle above its head until we get its attention? She can walk on rudder, right?
Monk shit. But that would.
We could get it up here. Someone can cannonball into its mouth with a hot ball. Pray they don't get digested before they can dimension door out of it.
Well, if we are going to bring this up, maybe we should let Zram and. Did we get the other captain's name? Looks at Lunisa.
Fizzrag or Fizz something? The lizard?
Yeah. Captain Fizzrag. we should maybe have them all on one ship, get them away from the reef a little bit, and us take this one.
Yeah, well, I'll go ask. I'll run over the water over towards the other boat, and I'll be like, "Hey, do you guys mind if we use the boat?"
In what way do you intend to use the boat? By the
We
way,
just-
did you climb up the deck of the Blue Current, or are you just yelling from down below?
I climbed up.
Okay. As you get to the deck, you realize that there are a lot more of those feathered creatures with beaks and weird tails all over the deck. Most of them are yellow in color. Not all of them though. And they kind of like look up at you and they're making laughing noises at you.
I just ran over like 100 feet of water.
Mhm.
Yes. Anyway, we might want to coax it up so it's a bit easier to like slap it. If you know what I mean.
Usually, we wish to try not to bring it close, as it could damage the boats.
Yeah, but it's a lot easier to fight it up here than in the water, because
Why is
stabbing in water isn't easy.
do you not have a way of helping yourself out in the water? No,
I mean, we
some
can-
of action spells.
That's not really the problem. The problem is we some magic people, and they can't use blah 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 underwater.
Yes. The captain kind of claps her hands together. Yes, I thought you had people that could cast spells to take care of that, but I suppose if you do not, there is a solution to that issue.
Which is
We have a route that can help with that.
what? They have a what?
We
That can
have
help with it?
a route. It is
A route?
something that the merfolk have cultivated, and the sea elves have traded.
If it works, sure, we'll take it. How many of those do you have?
Should be enough. We can throw it into a tea.
Okay. I'll come back to the boat. Hey guys, they're gonna give us some tea and then we can talk underwater, I think.
That makes things easier.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, let's drink some tea and go slay whatever that thing is.
I don't know.
Wait, are you conjuring a face shark?
Well, yeah, I could.
Nice.
But seeing as you have like 20 minutes, or do we run until 5 or 4?
We run till 4. I was figuring
so-
we're gonna get the
yeah,
setup
I-
and prep done, and then next week we will go right into. You're going down on an expedition to find this thing and kill it.
Trying to think, like, let me check the bank, see if we got anything that's weird.
Okay, so rather than type it all out, could I just relay Will's idea? Will conjures a water elemental. The water elemental carries the cannonball. The water elemental goes towards the mouth of the creature. Just before entering the mouth and being swallowed, Will drops concentration on the water elemental and starts using heat metal on the cannonball. The water elemental is being swallowed, and goes berserk.
Oh God.
The cannonball heats up.
How much
Mhm.
damage does it do, by the way?
Just a heat metal.
Mm-hmm.
Quite a
Normally it does 2d8 fire damage.
Mm-hmm.
But you can upcast it for 1d8 per level.
Could
Also-
upcast it, yeah.
It's a bonus action to reactivate, and it automatically hits if it's swallowed.
Mm-hmm.
There's no way for it not to hit.
Saying is you're trying to give this thing an extreme case of indigestion and heartburn.
Yes.
Mm-hmm. Fuck that
So
guy.
it will have an angry water elemental inside of it,
The water
and a
elemental would also
cannonball
be
on fire.
the water elemental would also be taking damage from the heat metal as well.
Sure, whatever. It's not on our side anymore. Eventually, it will go away, but until it does, it will fight.
You know,
The cannonball will last for a minute. If I upcast it, so it would be 3, yeah.
gods.
And that's just because it's there.
Mm-hmm.
That is a minimum of 50 damage,
With a angry water elemental in it.
maximum of 400.
With Will still being able to cast other spells that don't require concentration.
Heat metal's bullshit.
Yes, it is.
It's terrifying.
Will you saw this cannonball over there? Like, I have an idea.
Yeah, like he did that on something of mine that had like a metal appendage or something like that. That was like it couldn't drop something and it kept heating up and heating up. I think that was you, or it was somebody else, another party, and I can't remember which party it was now.
I don't think that was me.
Drew in another game, the person was wearing like heavy metal armor, and
Yeah.
it takes like 10 minutes to take off.
Yeah. Spell only lasts for 1 minute,
Yeah.
but
So they just took it all.
Yeah, it does take time. That's why there's like partly
Ooh.
times of how long does it take to put on metal. That's not just for was this person sleeping and something get interrupted in the middle of the night. It's also for things like heat metal.
Mm-hmm. The only other option I have is just give this thing googly eyes and make it look friendly.
Like I said, if I can conjure the giant shark, but I would either need to stay on deck or stay well away from it so that I wouldn't drop concentration, because we don't want to have to fight a giant shark and a squid turtle.
Oh, that's
Will
right.
would
It wasn't you. It was when I was running Tube of Annihilation, and somebody used that spell on the clay golem the clay golem gladiators who couldn't drop the spears. They were trying to get them to drop the spears by putting heat metal on it, and no, they couldn't drop the spears, so they kept getting damaged.
Will would just need to be able to stay within 60 feet of, like, the creature, kind of, when
Okay.
because the range of heat metal is 60 feet.
I don't think I
Alright.
have to stay super close to the shark. I think I can summon it and tell it to do, and that it doesn't look like it has a range. There's a range to summon it 90 feet, but I don't know if that's to keep in control of it.
I think you have to. I'm not sure. I think you have to stay in range.
I have a question. Can Mage Hand retrieve something from a bag of holding?
That is a good question. It depends. Mage Hand has an upper limit of how heavy something can be. What are you trying to retrieve? Excuse me. Excuse me. What are you trying to retrieve?
Oh, just a cursed heart.
Oh, now there's a thought. Yes,
That's a
your
thing.
hand could do that.
Feed
That's
it a
the thing.
cursed heart.
Mhm.
Which
It would
is
instantly
fine,
kill it.
Yeah.
Wait, so the curse of that thing was that it's person who touches it.
The evil will replace your own and recurse the next person. So basically, the heart gets torn from whatever the fuck that thing is and goes into the box back in the Dungeon of the Mad Mage.
How would it fit?
Magic, motherfucker! I don't know!
Poor adventure opens that
Not our
part.
problem, right? It's
Not
somebody
our
else's problem.
I like it. I like it. I like it when the solution is not our problem.
Sweeping up next to the box, and the box.
I mean, honestly, all it has to do is touch it. So if that's another option too. So
Oh yes, that's an option.
Goddamn instant death trap bullshits.
Mhm. So I don't know, but that's also another thing. Like, do we want to hold on for other things or people?
Like in case we run into Tarask.
Or
Oh, it has a captain. Oh yeah.
Yeah, that'd be an interesting
Mhm.
scenario doing
Yeah.
that. Like, it would be best to save it, but if worst
If-
comes to worst,
if things are looking real bad and we're looking at a TPK, we have that option.
yeah.
But I would like to save it for that,
Yeah.
if possible.
Yeah, I like the idea of feeding this thing.
Like when it comes to like, because she's got that one ring that gives her a swim speed of 40 feet, so she can technically still swing normally underwater.
So can Phaedra with Bob.
So
I mean, if we don't use the heart, then at least we can do stuff that will deal damage every turn.
Well, actually, no, wait a second. I might need to clarify that. Bob gives her advantage on swim checks. Would that give her the freedom of swinging as well? I just assumed, but I never asked. Because technically she doesn't have a swim speed, but she gets advantage on her checks because of her weapon.
So Will could cast this.
Freedom of movement will help you with that. I don't think that just I don't think that's what Cinder's gift allows. She's not a water dragon. She is
No. Bob.
Oh, Bob.
Tomb of Annihilation axe that you got.
All right.
It gives-
Can you post the description of what it can do? Let me recheck. I don't know if it actually helps
where's
with
my-
underwater or not.
Well, it gives her advantage on swim checks. That's what it is, because it floated in a barrel of
Excuse me.
water.
Oh yeah. If it
Hold
gives
on,
you advantage on swim checks, then you should be able to mitigate the it should be able to roll as normal.
I don't have. I'll double check I have the book. It'll just give me a second to find it. I think it was in the
imagine at least it'll
Dragon's
give you
Lair.
a normal roll with it itself, if that's
Yeah.
the case. Not like with, say, if you were to grab somebody else's weapon, I don't think it would be the same thing.
No, it has to be with Bob. Yeah, I just can't remember the
No,
name of the
Bob is
dragon
everything.
there. Bob is everything.
Bob is all.
Bob is all. Bob is one with everything. The fuck was the name of that?
All hell, Bob.
All hell, Bob. Mm.
I will say this: I will more than likely be using my hex on this damn thing because fuck that.
Mm.
And I might be using a spell I'd never used in front of the group.
Oh,
Yeah.
what's that?
I hope it does decent damage.
Disintegrate.
And I hope it doesn't kill the enemy. Because then I would have things to explain.
We all have things to explain.
Will
Does it
has
turn it
nothing to
undead?
explain.
It
Infinity
might
sword.
turn things undead if it killed them.
Oh, great! So then we'll have an undead Kraken motherfucker deal with whatever the shit this
No,
is.
I just
An undead
went
under your
through-
control.
No, I don't. It does not. I don't think it says this under my control. Hang on.
We're just extra fucked.
Target kill, razor. Yeah, it doesn't come under my control. No. It
So if
just
it's
raises.
really, really hurt. Don't do that.
Yeah.
I don't think you're gonna get one shot this time.
Ah, yes, the second stage of this boss.
Second stage zombie.
Uh,
Okay,
Brought
yeah.
to you by Veer.
It says it's a +1 battle axe that floats on water and other liquids and grants its bearer advantage on strength athletics checks made to swim. Etched into half of the battle axe are Delvic Dwarvish runes that spell the weapon's name, Bob.
Oh.
Lab. So.
Oh, that makes
I
more
get it.
sense.
Bop. Okay, so we're gonna feed this a molten. We're gonna have a water elemental feed it a molten cannonball.
Yeah, I feel like Will might need someone to carry him, like either flying or keeping him with
Hide the
a
shark?
good speed. Basically, just so that he can stay within 60 feet of the heat metal spell.
Huh. If I
mean-
feed it. Go ahead.
So most of the shit I summon is skeletal. Could you get inside of the well, I mean it's gonna be cartilaginously skeletal, but you could get inside of the shark.
Disgusting, that's sure. Such an uptight person. You summon the most disgusting things.
Holding the
It's not his choice at
cannonball.
all.
Yeah. Technically, I imagine he can always hit a right of shore if he doesn't mind getting close. Otherwise, I'd imagine Veer would probably be a better option.
Hmm.
Because Shori is probably gonna be trying to smack the thing with a sword.
Yeah.
Magic sword.
Whilst Will is, concentrating on this spell, if he has any spell slots left of that category, he could cast Blight. That's
Ooh.
always fun.
Fun.
I don't know how much health this thing got, but if it doesn't react well to the fire in its stomach, it'll be a lot of damage.
Mm-hmm.
Need to worry about cultists coming to its aid.
Oh, good.
A humanoid, and I kill him, we'll get a friend.
Wait.
She did mention that there's
Ah.
people worshipping this thing.
Yeah.
Do we need to take care of those first?
I was thinking there for a second. Do I have Water Walk available? Because I could ritual cast that and just stand invisible on the water.
I mean,
Oh,
I have
no.
a range of water walking.
Well, you could cast it on the enemies and make them float up.
Was it up? Doesn't say anything about that, I don't think.
It says up to 10 willing creatures you can see. So it's like,
Yeah.
darn.
Oh yeah, it does. If a target is submerged in liquid.
They ascend at 60 feet per round. They're willing, basically.
Great. So decompression sickness. Poof. Oh, so we decided that if we're breathing, we're
Yeah.
Does the 60 feet per round stop the moment they reach the surface, or do they get flung out?
they
Goes up to the
porpoise out of the
surface.
water.
Well, it's not, to be fair, 60 feet per round is not technically too fast, considering that's the same
It's a
speed as
dash.
the featherfall. It's featherfall speed, at
60
least.
feet per. Yeah, so that would be 10 feet per second. That's 3 meters, roughly. 3 meters a second. It's kind of fast.
It's not the fastest something can
No,
go.
no, absolutely not. But it's not slow.
It's technically slower than what Shiori can go up.
Right.
Fucking
Yeah.
swimming ring that I never get to use.
Will is kind of satisfied as long as he will just summon a water elemental and have it carry a cannonball for unknown reasons.
I feel like that. I just worry we're going up against something really big. Is that going to be enough?
Well, there's always something big in the water. Besides, we always lose someone fighting a sea monster.
Don't you say that, Will.
I didn't say, Will didn't say that, I said that.
Say that, Tobias.
Don't you say that, Tobias.
You're risking Quentin right now.
I did say I want to play a bard again, I guess.
I'm not allowed to die. I just spent money on character.
Quentin, don't.
Just know that if I die, I'll be a bard again, or something with
Alright.
high charisma.
So we'll,
Okay,
y'all
okay,
keep
so
Quentin
do not
alive.
let Quentin die.
You'll all regret that.
Keep
Volunteering.
Quentin alive.
I promise you. You will regret letting me die.
Yeah, because you don't want to have Logan come back on you, especially when he doesn't like some of you guys.
I mean, most of the people I don't like are not here right now.
True.
I do not know Urk. I do not know Firen. I have no problem with Phaedra or Shiori.
No,
I
you
don't
were
think-
mad at Phaedra. You yelled at her and left.
I mean, yeah, I did yell at you. I'm more mad at Gamel though, but he's
Fair.
not here.
What about Will?
Did you do anything? If you
No.
did, I
He's
did not
Will!
see.
No, you don't know.
And Will didn't do anything. He's innocent.
Hmm.
Press F to doubt, but sure.
Oh
Anyway,
God.
are we gonna beat this thing?
I don't know. We also have potions of giant size if we really want to just fuck this thing up.
You poured
I
on
don't
the
know.
cannonball.
No.
Feed it to a
That's-
skeletal shark that's already already huge.
Oh, that's an idea.
You do it on summon?
Oh.
It doesn't
I
say
guess it's up
anything
for the
about it, I don't
GM.
think. I don't.
Here's the thing, though. If you lose concentration on
Oh
it,
yeah,
that thing will,
that's yeah.
it'll
yeah.
start. It'll stay that way for 24 hours.
No, that's future Kale's problem.
Future Chaos problem.
Just because it's not on your side anymore doesn't mean it's necessarily going to see you as the biggest threat.
No, if it's getting attacked by something with tentacles, it's probably going to keep fighting for its life. Then maybe it'll come after me.
Yeah, exactly. Hey, you know what? Maybe we just both summon a giant shark and a water elemental, and then we drop concentration and watch from afar.
We'll have Sharknado. It'll be fine.
Yes.
Sharknado.
No, I think
will
we
be
need
no,
an
you-
air
you
elemental
need an
for
air-
that, right?
There
yeah,
we go.
air
Turtle,
man
what beat me to
elemental.
it.
Yeah.
Question: Does the skeletal shark that you can summon, what's it classified as?
Still, it's skeletal in flavor only because it's my character.
It's
It's still
technically fey.
it's
Never
a
mind.
it's a huge beast, but it's fey.
It's
Alright, no one.
Bay.
Fey.
I have my plan.
I mean, if the GM wants to rule because that's character flavor, that my shit's skeletal, that it's undead, she could do that. But we
It's
up to her.
But it is fey, so.
I'm taking one of these metal spheres and I'm going to burn the fucker from the inside.
I want to try to save my energy for hitting it a little bit harder. I could cast an element weapon on my blade.
What element do you think would be beneficial?
Definitely would have to determine. I might have to determine that based on what we see. More likely cold, but because I don't think fire would do as well.
Electricity tend not to mix.
Yeah.
Resistance to some
Well, it could also cast this spell for information, if needed.
Oh.
We could.
Yes, please.
Yes, please.
What do you want to know?
The fuck is that
Um,
thing?
Yeah.
Yeah, but I have
And
to
what
guess.
hurts it?
Yeah. Exactly.
Prevalent plants, materials, or animals. That would maybe animals. If not the other one, the powerful creatures.
It's about bodies of water.
Are there any bodies of water near us?
So you have to ask it something specific?
Yes, I have to choose
Up to 3
things.
facts.
And like, I think it was. Can you say, are there any powerful of? I think you have to choose specifically like fiends, fae, elementals, or undead.
I mean, from what Squeak saw, could I do an Arcana check to see if I could noodle out what it might
Sure.
be?
Roll for Arcana.
Do good Arcana.
Yeah.
Well,
Fuck yeah.
Kale, you've got this strong suspicion, although you're not 100%, but you are as close as you can be without actually dissecting it, that this creature is probably an aberration.
Which isn't one of the things that is on there.
Right.
Damn it.
no.
It also, with that 26, you realize that if it is an aberration, then Phaedra's idea of how to kill it quickly wouldn't work.
The heart thing?
Because it's an
That idea?
aberration, there's a good chance it doesn't have a heart.
Oh.
Hmm.
Well, in that case, like,
Well, I was gonna say, do I know if aberrations have any particular weaknesses? Or they're too across the board for that?
Seems to be two across the board.
yeah.
So, yeah, freaking
All right.
way of killing this thing.
So, you know what? Are there any prevalent peoples around in the 3 miles? Are there
Oh yeah, the
any?
cultists were in
Is
it.
there any influence of other planes? And are there any buildings?
Oh, that's fair. Yeah, actually, yeah.
Yeah, those are the questions to think about for next week. Like it. At this, so of course, it's going to start with you guys getting some tea that you're going to be drinking, so that you can actually cast spells underwater.
I'm gonna head off.
You
Bye.
will have to,
Bye, Quentin.
if you haven't already, because I think you already have, since it's 24 hours, cast breathing underwater, but and you're on your own for underwater moving underwater, but you'll be able to cast spells underwater, which should help.
Fuck, I lost my train of thought.
Goodbye
Shit.
for
I
now.
can't remember.
Uh,
Oh!
we go to the-
No,